That was probably a good number for our customers, as well as a number that we could effectively do safely.
The city embracing the big weekend by renaming all downtown Indianapolis streets for each of the 33 drivers in the Indy 500. Todd at ABC News.
And some tough times on Mars for the tiny helicopter that NASA has been flying around. Officials say Ingenuity was flying at about 30 feet when a picture taken by an onboard camera didn't register properly. That, in turn, threw off a timing sequence, which ended up confusing the drone about its location. The little chopper did manage to land safely, though. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
So, how can I promote my new curbside pickup service?
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need custom floor decals that'll get noticed, not just walked on.
Also possible, Staples Connect can help your business grow with custom printed sales and marketing materials. And now get 15% off signs, posters, and decals when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 5/29. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
All right, is that a Q2 or Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA.
W9.
To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement, ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Thousands of Coloradoans who have gotten their COVID-19 vaccinations are not eligible to win prizes in a state vaccine lottery. They got their vaccinations through the Department of Defense or the VA. Colorado health officials say some government agencies don't report patient vaccination data to the state, so the information is not in the vaccine lottery database. The state says it's working on a solution. The Air Force Academy's new Commandant of Cadets is now on campus. Brigadier General Paul Moga was welcomed to the Academy with a charge of command ceremony.
It's a big responsibility. I don't take it lightly. I know it's not going to be easy. It's going to take time, but it's also going to be very rewarding.
Moga says he's looking forward to watching the cadets grow as people as they get ready to move on in their service. In sports, the Denver Nuggets beat Portland 120-115 last night on the road. The Nuggets now take a 2-1 lead in their first-round NBA playoff series. That's the latest. I'm Pat Woodard.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, southbound I-25 still crowded between I-70 and Spear. Eastbound I-70 we're on the brakes Washington to Brighton. And westbound I-76 pretty heavy from the US 6 exit to I-270. I-270 also slowing both directions into kind of sluggish along the spillway and an earlier crash northbound on Santa Fe after Hampton. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, sunshine and 60 for the high today. Partly cloudy tonight with a low at 47. Then thunderstorms tomorrow, Saturday's high at 71. Rainy and 60 Sunday and Monday, and more thunderstorms on Tuesday, high of 72. Right now it's 59 with your Impact Traffic and Weather. I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW.
Ready to buy a new home, but don't know where to start? Rocket can. Check out the Rocket Mortgage Homebuyer's Guide for articles, tips, and tools. When you need your mortgage to fit your family and budget, Rocket can. Rocket Mortgage.
From the Stone Age to the digital age, people have been having weird, wonderful, and downright absurd relationships. Fall in love with Ridiculous Romance, the podcast where real-life spouses Diana and Eli talk about the wildest and most interesting romantic partners in history.
One episode of The Dating Game was with serial killer Rodney Alcala.
He was like, here's a dozen red flags.
Cute. What are these dozen red flags?
Listen to Ridiculous Romance on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Now's the perfect time for this special offer. Get half off a Carrier AC with the purchase of a qualifying Carrier furnace, plus a 10-year warranty on parts and labor. Only from Plumline Services, with faith and character. I've trusted them in my home going on 20 years. Turn to the experts you trust. Plumline and Carrier. PlumlineServices.com. Ethics and excellence in practice every day. Service at home. Servants at heart. PlumlineServices.com.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
Do you Twitter?
Follow the Troubleshooter at RealTomMartino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk station on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW. Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, sports. That's sports. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win with a $12K a day giveaway.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and this is, I don't care what you say, if you're working or not, it is the start of a holiday weekend, and I invite you to call with this. Now listen, please don't call and insult me with just plain old stuff, but I invite you to call with the best, only the best, barbecue sauce or secrets of barbecuing. I invite you to call. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm not stroking anybody. I'm just going to say this. When it comes to cooking out, I have never, ever had better food than Mark prepares on a grill. And I don't know why, and I don't know how, because he sure as hell doesn't look competent. But it works, and I don't understand it. So, I grill, and I either over or under it. That's what I do. I don't know why. So if you have grilling secrets, if you have barbecue sauce secrets, but please don't call with just regular stuff like oh, I use ketchup and brown sugar. You know, that's what Dan does, right? Just don't do that. And then maybe I put a touch of vinegar in. That's my secret. That's exactly what Dan does. Now, I want to know your secrets because I can't. You got to turn the mic on. See, that's how it works.
I'll tell you a great secret.
Yes.
If you want a barbecue chicken, you nuke it for 3 minutes beforehand, and then you barbecue it. Because if you put it on the grill, the inside of the chicken never gets done, and the outside gets burned. You nuke it first, then you grill it. It comes out perfectly.
You know, someone should hang you. That sounds horrible, to nuke a chicken.
Well, for a few minutes, he's saying.
For 3 minutes, you nuke a chicken breast or leg, and then
I got to call foul.
What do you think, Mark? Tell me.
Did you get that foul? Call foul?
If you grill it, the inside never gets done.
Tell me what you do. Come on. No, I'm not kidding.
Anything you grill or smoke, the first thing you want to do is let it get to room temperature before you put it on the grill.
Of course. Really, okay, hold on. Well, okay, you say so. Of course, maybe that's my problem. I take it out of the refrigerator. I don't let it get to room temperature.
Yeah, then you're going to cook the outside way faster.
Okay, that's that.
And right then if you're cooking steaks, you sear, you get that grill up to 600-700.
That's a good tip right there. Now, by the way, I want to say something seriously. The people listening to my voice right now, whether it be on a podcast or in a live stream or on the radio over the air, there's someone who's been affected by a DUI. Someone has been affected by a DUI. Either they got a DUI or someone got killed by a drunk driver or whatever. So,
or there are going to be morons this weekend, Memorial Day, and get a DUI.
Memorial Day brings out the worst and the best. Now, drinkers that have DUIs, there's never a reason for a DUI. Never. There really isn't. Now you might think, why do we have an attorney on to talk about this? I'll tell you why. First and foremost, a DUI in and of itself, if you haven't killed anyone, I don't think it should ruin your entire life forever. Okay? I don't believe in a death sentence for an offense that didn't hurt anyone. Again, I'm not encouraging drinking and driving. But also, there will be people who are charged with extenuating circumstances. And maybe they weren't drunk, or maybe the officer didn't follow protocol. We're going to go over everything on this. First of all, the easiest way to avoid a DUI is Uber, Lyft, a taxi, or a friend who's not drinking. That's the easiest thing. To try to calculate how much drink you can drink, I think it's foolhardy. Joe Lazzara, tell me this, Joe. How are handheld breathalyzers in your experience? I don't mean personally, but I mean through your law. Joe?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yes, sir.
Yeah, most portable breath tests are not reliable. I mean, they give you an indicator that you're approximately this BAC, but unless you're going out and you're spending $400, $500, $600. You're getting it regularly calibrated. You're not going to know for sure. And even most police departments don't always calibrate their portable breath tests. But it does give you an indicator of what your BAC or about what your BAC is.
May I ask a question, and you might not want to answer it, I don't know. Do you even know, like, of the people that you defend, about how many do you feel probably should try to make a deal and they shouldn't have been driving? I mean, obviously you work with everyone. Do you have any idea, or is that something you're uncomfortable answering as a defense attorney?
I think a lot of people make the mistake. They think they're okay to drive, whether they're at a barbecue or they're just having a couple glasses of wine or a couple beers at dinner. They think they're okay. They feel okay. But your BAC is over the legal limit. So I think most people make a mistake, and the question becomes, how do you minimize that?
Okay, so in other words, you don't think they're hardened criminals and they have a reckless disregard for people. They're just stupid, basically.
Yeah, okay. I think most people just make that mistake. The ones that have serious alcohol problems, they get multiple DUIs, you got to question, why are they getting behind the wheel when there's other ways, like you were talking about, Lyft, Uber, et cetera, to get from point A to point B. I mean, they even deliver alcohol now. So it's, why do you need to drive?
Now, Joe, the worst scourge, I think, I got to tell you, is the delivery, or excuse me, the takeout. I mean, you can order 2 whiskey sours and pick them up.
Yeah, but in some states, like Louisiana, that's been going on forever.
No, I'm talking about mixed drinks all ready to go.
Yeah, I know. In some states, that's been going on forever.
They hand it to you in a plastic cup and a straw. I mean,
yeah.
I wonder how many people, I know you're on your way home with takeout. Come on. Have you sipped it? Tell me you didn't. Come on. Joe, I'm serious now. I mean, that's pretty dumb, I think.
Well, how about people that buy edibles somewhere? You can go buy edibles anywhere, and you could eat those on the way
Joe,
home.
And speaking of that, there's a lot to talk about. The marijuana thing. Are you seeing more and more of that?
Not as much. I mean, when it first came out and first hit, Colorado, we saw a huge uptick in driving while ability impaired or under the influence of drugs. It has really gone down. It's still alcohol is the number one factor.
Okay, but with pot, is there a legal limit established?
There is. It's 5 nanograms of THC.
But how do they test that?
Through your blood. So the question becomes, if you're a chronic user, you may always have a number higher than that 5 nanogram level, but you may not have smoked that day.
Are you listening, Shannon? Okay. So so if you have 5 nanograms in your blood and you're not impaired, but could they, I don't know, if you have bloodshot eyes, they pull you over, you look like Shannon or something, and they say, hey, we're going to do a blood test. And it turns out you have it, but the officer admits you were not driving erratically or whatever. Can you what happens there?
Yeah, they will still prosecute you for DUI.
Okay.
Driving under the influence of marijuana.
All right. Now, what about when you we hear this a lot, Joe. In fact, I get more calls about this than I ever would imagine happens. But it must happen often. Here, I'm going to tell you the scenario. Well, I was getting in my car and I realized I could not drive. It wasn't safe. So I just fell asleep. And they get a DUI. In other words, they did not drive. They're in the parking lot or in their driveway.
We know it happens a lot, but for the life of me, I don't understand why. Why can they go after someone for driving while under the influence when they're not driving?
Joe.
Yeah, so the question is, are you in actual physical control? So those questions boil down to, is the car running? Are the keys in the ignition? Can the vehicle be placed in motion with minimal effort? So their fear, and why they prosecute them, is, hey, you're going to fall asleep or pass out, you're going to wake up, you're still impaired or under the influence, and you're going to drive.
Okay, I want to ask you tips. If you are sensible enough not to drive, but you want to sit in your car, really, what you do. And then Joe has some stories about people who sat in their cars. Guess what? They slept overnight and then drove home, and they were still intoxicated. More coming up.
It's all about the nose.
So, Mark,
yes.
When I'll try to get all mine done, but
if too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Nasal irritation.
That's one of those few laws and stuff where we think you may do it.
What about if you put the keys in the glove box?
I think they got to be outside the car.
Yeah.
I think
So here's my suggestion with people with marijuana: have a simple reaction time. So a cop hands you a phone.
Yeah, but that couldn't be done. Wait a minute. That couldn't be done on your own property in a million years, could it?
I think it is.
Yes.
Wait.
In your driveway.
So I'm in my driveway on my personal.
That's right.
There's no way.
There's no way. I'm pretty sure.
Sorry, you're fucking wrong.
If the key's in the ignition,
I think you're
Not
right.
in your own not in your own property.
Although, Dan,
When's if I got 1,000 acres?
Dan, hold on. Now remember, you said he's wrong, and he is Mark. And he's going to get louder and right here soon.
No matter what, I'm right.
so Mark,
Granite Liquidators sells stone to the public at wholesale. What do I mean by that? Granite, marble, quartzite, whatever comes in a slab, they most likely have it, and they have it in slab form. That means you can shop for your stone first. You walk the yard. You pick out a slab. You don't shop from tiny little samples. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but it's best to shop for your stone first. And then what you do is decorate around it. You know then what you have to match. And so you go to Granite Liquidators, 5075 Tabor Street in Wheat Ridge, and walk the yard. When you find what you want, they put your name on it, and they hold it for you until your contractor comes to get it. Yes, so they put your name on it and store it for you, and you get wholesale prices. That's right, GraniteLiquidators.com. GraniteLiquidators.com.
I have a very hard time believing that, guy.
Well, let's talk.
Okay.
See,
so if I own 1 million acres in Texas, and I'm in the fucking dead center of it, I'm in trouble.
Now you mean to, this is his. Now you mean to tell me argument.
I'm just telling.
Now you mean to tell me argument. We're going to have to do.
Well, I say, remember, cops got to be on there, on your property.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. How would they even come on to check?
Well,
wouldn't they have to have a fucking warrant?
If they don't see you, then it's a moot point.
No, you fucking call on your neighbor. Hey, so-and-so sitting in his car drunk in his driveway. You're telling me the cops can come and arrest you?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't say it's right.
I don't even know how they'd come on your property without a warrant then.
Well, there's got to be a reason for them to do that, I'm sure.
Well, one look at you.
They can come on your property, you can just ask them to leave.
They didn't say, look at you, and they say, your face is my case.
Mark, if you don't have a no trespassing sign, anybody can come on your property and you just tell them to leave. You don't have to talk to them, you don't have to give them anything, you just say, it's private property, you need to leave. But you can't stop them from coming and ringing your doorbell.
Listen, all you junior lawyers, let's ask Joe.
Okay. No, what I'm saying is,
well, according to Tom and Dan, if you've got 1 million acres,
6 million,
6 million acres.
That's right.
In Afghanistan,
if you're in the middle of the ocean,
well, no,
how
about if you're in Omaha and somebody in New York calls and says there's somebody in Omaha that's in the middle of their farmland?
Do you think you can get boating while intoxicated?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
Chatfield, those guys will check.
Absolutely.
We've been on a boat out there, they'll check.
Yeah.
Are you fucking with me?
No.
I think almost everybody.
I would actually say that's more
while
dangerous.
Intoxicated. These guys, this is the only sport I know where you stop and get fucking
That's
alcohol.
right. I think
you mean in the golf cart?
Yeah, I think you can do it bicycle riding.
Yep, you can. Absolutely.
You mean get a ticket?
Yeah, for DUI.
Fuck yeah, and you can lose your driver's license.
But now in a golf.
What? Yes, absolutely.
You know, if you get a DUI like driving, it affects your pilot's license.
Oh, that it does.
Okay, so Joe Lazera next with the DUI gal, but then I got Blake in queue for line 2, that Red Rocks Community Trust. So I have that in queue for after
They're
that.
screwed.
Oh, okay.
They're screwed. They didn't follow the rules.
So listen to this. What about instead of having an absolute blood test, you have somebody who's 230 pounds and has a blood alcohol level of 0.09.
What if?
And he's totally competent.
Saying,
why don't you just have a cop or set up a where a cop hands you the phone and says, when it goes from red to green, you press a button. And if your reaction time is normal, you're not under the influence.
Yeah, but because some people that drink 24/7 would be able to do that with no problem, and they still shouldn't be drinking.
No, but what you care about, if Dan is drinking and his level is .09, and his reaction time is normal, I don't care if he has a .09.
I agree with that. Just like why
if I'm drinking,
but your reaction time would be, you could be erratic. You could be erratic.
Well, here's the thing.
People have argued victimless crime forever.
But it's just a screening test. If it's above that.
I'm Tom Martino, your
Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. You'll never get a DUI with that. And by the way, you get 50% off the cherry bombs, which are the little cherry gummies. They're delicious and help with pain, inflammation, and all the stuff THC helps with. You can get 50% off, half price, and you only have 3 days left. It's for the rest of this month. Put gummy in the promo code. Order cherry bombs. Put gummy in the promo code, and you get 50% off. The website, RealCBDThatWorks.com. Okay, we're talking to Joe Lazzara about DUIs, and we have a question for him from Becky. Becky, go ahead. You're on with Joe Lazzara, attorney at law.
Okay, I know a guy. He got a DUI, went through court and all that other crap. He's on probation, has to take a P test, but they will allow him to have THC, and that's just fine. So why give him a DUI?
Well, because drinking is different than pot. I mean, in other words, you're saying they should check both?
Well, one could be medical. I don't think there's any medical use for alcohol.
Well, no, but let's say it's not medical. Joe, she's saying it doesn't make sense that he has to check his alcohol but not his THC.
Yeah, so what we see a lot on these cases, even for people who are arrested and prosecuted for DUI, they're under the influence of marijuana. They will still be placed on probation with monitored sobriety. If the marijuana is medicinal, they have prescription for it, they're permitted to use marijuana while on probation. Doesn't make sense.
Wow.
There is no medical purpose for alcohol.
Yeah, but okay. Well, wow. Okay. So, Becky, the answer is that's the way it is. That's the answer.
Yep, it's the government.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, here's the point, Joe. The law is the law. We have to follow it. 5 nanograms of THC, or the blood alcohol limit is what?
For DWAI, 0.05, or DUI, 0.08.
Now, DWAI, a lot of people think that's less. That's less critical. Does that cause the same havoc?
It can. I mean, if you're still potentially looking at a license issue, a lot of the same penalties are very similar, but DWAI still affects you. It simply means you're affected by alcohol to the slightest degree. So if you refuse, you don't even have to have a BAC of a 0.05. And I've seen prosecutors actually prosecute cases when you're slightly under that 0.05 mark.
And 0.05 is DWAI, but what's DUI again?
0.08.
0.08. Okay, so here's the deal. It doesn't take much to get there. Now we have a question, quickly, because I don't want to dwell on this. But Mark said, I find it impossible to believe that if you're in your car in a parking lot, he can see that maybe, because you're endangering the public. But if it's your driveway and you're in your car listening to music, let's say, you had no intention of driving, but you're in the car, or not even listening to music. You just nodded out.
In your own driveway or garage.
Yeah. Now, can you get a DUI?
I had a client that was sitting in his driveway listening to music. He had his keys in the ignition. He'd been there for several hours because his wife went to bed early. There was a noise complaint. Police arrived, charged him with DUI.
Did he get convicted?
No.
Okay, but to Mark's point, he's saying it's probably impossible to be convicted on your property
Basically, that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
on your own property with no intent. Not like if
he
you're
said,
driving.
What if you're a farmer, you have 40 acres or 50? He said 1 million because he exaggerates. But what if you're on your property? We need to know, can you be charged? Yes, we know you
can be charged.
But do you think the likelihood of a conviction is there?
So the question is, did you drive and now you're on your property?
But what if you didn't?
No, you didn't drive anywhere. You're just like the client you
didn't drive, but you can't. How do you prove that? Here's what I'm saying. The police come and they see you in your car. The keys are readily available or in the ignition. Is there a likelihood? Have you ever heard of a conviction when people are sitting in their car on their own property?
I haven't personally, but I do know they get charged. I think most prosecutors are reasonable and they understand, especially if there's no evidence that they drove, there was no intent to drive, they're just listening to music.
Now, what about a parking lot? Is that different?
Yeah, I mean, I did an appeal for another guy who did a trial, went to trial on this case. The guy was passed out in his vehicle, laying on the bench-style seat, never moved his car, keys were in the ignition. That attorney lost that trial.
Okay, what if you have the?
How did the appeal go?
How did the appeal go?
Court affirmed it.
Okay, now what if your car's right next to you? You're on the park bench, and your car's at the curb.
If you're outside your vehicle, you should be fine.
Okay, now
if you're in the vehicle.
Okay, now hold on. I got to take another question here because this came up. Tom, we have with us Blake Harris from BlakeHarrisLaw.com, formerly Mile High Estate Planning. Now, Blake, we have a very simple question for you, okay? I'm going to try to explain this for you, Tom. Tom's client basically did a charity for Red Rocks Community College. And it was a charitable remainder trust. A commercial building was put in the trust. She was to get the first 15% profit, and then the rest remains in the trust, presumably for Red Rocks, I believe. Isn't that right, Tom? I got to bring him up. I didn't bring him up. Hold on. Tom, I'm sorry. Hold on. He's not on. There he is. He's on 3. Okay, Tom, I'm sorry. So, Tom, she got the first 15%, and the rest remained in the trust, right?
Yeah, well, there was never a time where the trust had enough income.
I'm just asking you for the terms of the trust, Tom, please. I just want the terms were she got 15%, the rest stayed in the trust. Then, upon her death, what was supposed to happen?
So not upon her death, upon her husband's death, the trust had a 5-year window then where she was continued to be the beneficiary and receive the profits or 15% of the assets, whichever was left. And then at the end of that 5-year period, the remainder then transferred to Red Rocks Community College.
Which would be the commercial building and any profits if there were any, right?
Well, anything that was the remainder. So
I get it, bro. I get it. But you know, I'm trying to make this simple. It would be the building. If the building was there, they would get the building at the end of the 5 years. Is that right or wrong?
If it had not been sold.
I get it. I get it. Now, but if the building was there, they would have gotten the building. There's a reason I'm emphasizing that. Because during that 5 years, the trustee or the beneficiary, whoever, what was she, the trustee?
She was both the trustee and the beneficiary.
Okay. She decided to sell it, which was within her rights in the trust. And she sold it. And what did she do with the funds after she sold it?
So she sold it, and then she basically sold it right at the end of that.
And what did she do with the funds?
She distributed the funds appropriately based on the tax law. Her share $299,000, Red Rocks $322,000.
How did she determine what Red Rocks would get?
Based on the tax code. So basically, she got the profits; they got everything else.
Okay, but they're saying, wait a minute, she should not have sold it. Is that right?
Well, what their contention is...
She was not competent, so she should not have sold it.
But she had been released from the conservatorship.
Okay.
So she had been in a conservatorship, but released by the time it came around.
And after she was released, she sold it.
Correct.
Their contention is she should not have sold it because she was incompetent. Man, it's hard to get a yes or a no. So is that what their contention is?
That's what their contention is.
Okay, yes. So the point is, Blake Harris, because she was in a conservatorship, they're saying once in a conservatorship, her rights were taken away as the trustee, and she should not have sold a building even if she came out of conservatorship to do it. So they're expecting the full value of the building, which they would have gotten had she not sold it. Right, Tom?
Correct.
So now they're suing her not only for the full value of the building, but penalties and all that. They're suing her for $1.5 million. Now, the question is, Tom, didn't you say they already won?
Yeah, so she never even knew that the summary judgment was being applied for. And
was she represented? Was she represented by an attorney?
She was.
Okay.
Actually, too.
Okay. If she was represented, I guarantee you that when they filed for summary judgment, she was notified through her attorneys. Guaranteed. Okay? If they tell you they weren't notified, that's another issue. Okay? Now, because it took so long just to get the basic story, we'll come back with what Blake thinks coming up.
Jesus God, I say exactly what the fuck it is, and they say no, and then what do? Repeat the same fucking thing I just said. Did you notice that fucking happens every time?
Because they wanted.
Do you notice that? I swear to God, I say exactly what the fucking situation is, and they say no. Then what is it? Well, and then they say the same fucking thing.
One of the things that they
No, I'm fucking dead serious.
Just let you know that they have threatened to sue for $1.5 million if they try to appeal.
Yeah, but what was the initial summary?
Everything. The $299 plus the $320. That's what they want.
Mark, you have a spot. You have a spot, Mark.
Well, I read somewhere that DUI stops unconstitutional, but license checks are constitutional. So if they check, the reason they can check your license is because you're driving. But if you just hold your license up and don't say anything, that's what I heard. I would have loved to hear.
Stop. Oh. We'll ask him.
He's not on the phone anymore.
Yes, he is.
What you need. Liberty.
You know what? Some things are unbelievable when it comes to deals. Other things aren't. Sometimes a deal is not a deal, but I'll give you a deal. You ready for this? You need a new air conditioner unit. You need a new furnace. You want a whole home humidifier. The guys at 888 Heating are doing it for $8,500. That's the starting price. It depends on the size of your house, of course. But you also get 5 years, no interest. You can't beat this deal. A new furnace, new AC, whole home humidifier, 5 years, no interest. 888heating.com is a website. 888-HEATING is a phone number.
Yes, I did.
Images of Dr. Sneha and Philip as she shops. The next day,
303 429 6200.
Not a credit card transaction, no money taken out of your account, no emails, no phone call, nothing.
So really, I guess the question is, I think she had bad lawyers.
If you still not refinance your mortgage,
She had bad lawyers. And she owes a lawyer $60,000.
She does.
Yeah. And they threatened to, if she appealed, they were going to go for basically $1.4 million, which would totally wipe her out. She'd have nothing.
A trusted lender for over 20 years.
And she's in a old folks home right now.
All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to find out.
She's got some decisions to make.
I think she had a bad lawyer.
Well, no, but it sounds like, I don't know. I don't understand the conservatorship part. In other words, if it read if it read if she's ever in it, it doesn't matter if she comes out of it or not. She can't fuck with it anymore. And that's how it is.
Do you think that was they would go that deep?
I have no idea. We'll have to ask Blake.
That seems pretty deep.
Well, I don't know. I mean, think about it. If you're ever deemed not competent or even capable of managing it, even if it's just for a period of time, maybe that's a standard deal. We don't want you to ever do it again. I don't know.
Then why would they have been there? And then they shouldn't have brought her out because her daughter was.
You know, the common sense part though says, "Fuck, you're looking at gift horse in the mouth. This is some bullshit, man. We're giving you $300,000. That's the part that pisses me off.
They probably gave her $1 million before that. They've given community. They have a whole building named after them.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay.
We'll figure it out here.
Tom, here's another thing on the Red Rocks. They have given Red Rocks prior to this over $1 million. They got a whole building named after it.
No, I thought she didn't give him over $1 million.
No, they did. The husband did. Her husband, they were married for
I don't think it matters, but that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But it matters.
They have a building named
to
after
the public, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you kidding? It's a gift horse in the mouth. The guy's giving them over $1 million bucks. Now they're threatening to sue her. And she's in an old folks home. They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, got a building named after them. I can't remember.
You know what, Martino? You need to get louder. That way you're more right.
God, he's got a point.
It's got a point.
Jeez.
Pretend like Bentley is over here.
That's right. Bentley. Look at Dan and think Bentley. Bentley back.
Mark said he thought I was going to come over and punch him.
Well, you said it.
You pretty much said you were going to
That would have been my mother. I would kick your ass.
I couldn't believe that dude wouldn't leave. That was the most awkward shit either. It's like, okay, it's probably time for you to leave there, Don.
No, the awkward part was I walk him down through the elevator and go down there.
Well, have a nice day, sir.
Now, what do you suggest as far as
No, it wasn't as awkward as being in the elevator with the horror-loving mayor.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't fucking believe it. He goes, hello, Tom.
Oh, you know he's divorcing, right?
Does that surprise
Gee, no one saw that coming.
No, I'm just saying.
Dan thought he'd be married forever.
Who's that?
I'm going to
start
start
loving mayor.
What's his name?
Horror loving mayor.
Wouldn't it be funny if he legally changed his name to the horror
What's his
loving
name?
mayor?
What's his full name?
Oh,
You don't even know.
I don't even know.
You don't even know our mayor's name.
I know.
It's not my mayor. I don't live in Denver.
Mayor.
Hancock.
Okay, what's his first name? See, I forgot.
Horror loving?
I kept calling him Horror loving mayor so much I forgot. It's Michael Hancock.
It's horror, yeah. It's horror.
I'm going to call him Sugar Hancock. That's our name's going to be.
That is funny. We've referred to him that way for years. We really didn't know his real name.
Sugar Hancock.
All we know of is a horror-loving mayor. That was the most fucking... I didn't know that was him, so we're in the elevator. And I look at him and say something about Spence.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. So bottom line, they had a charitable remainder trust. The building was in it. The building was to go to Red Rocks Community College at the end of 5 years. But the trustee decided to sell the building, which was within her purview to do so. However, Red Rocks said she should not have sold it because she lost her right to do that as a trustee once she went into conservatorship.
Wouldn't all these answers lie within the trust itself?
Yes, but the courts, well, she did have the right to sell it. But Tom, very quickly, what did the court did a summary judgment, and what did they grant Red Rocks? Did they grant them the full value of the building?
Well, they're supposed to be making an arrangement of what they're going to accept as a condition. So I don't have a dollar amount.
But it's going to be more than the $322 she gave them.
Correct. It's going to be probably close to what she ended up out of it, which was like,
most likely she will have to pay the entire value of the building. So let's talk now to Blake Harris. Since it's already been summary judged, are you guys appealing?
I don't know that she could handle it. So she's an elderly lady.
And by the way, Red Rocks Community College, not only are they going after her for this, but prior to this, didn't the husband give them more than $1 million?
It's got to be more than that. I mean,
yeah. Are you calling just to let people know about it? I mean, are you just pissed enough to let people know how greedy they seem? Or what reason were you calling?
Well, I mean, yes, part of it is the greed of the college, or maybe let the college know what their attorneys are doing and how they put people through this. The people that are the best benefactors.
How old is this woman?
College.
How old is the woman?
She's 80 years old.
Is she in conservatorship now?
She is not.
How long was she in conservatorship for that temporary time?
It was approximately 2-3 years.
And how did they prove she was incompetent to do the sale? Did you look at the court docs?
I have not seen the court docs. I've just talked.
Did you read the summary judgment? Did you read the summary judgment? The summary judgment. Okay. All right. Let's talk to Blake. Hey, Blake, you know, they say water under the bridge. I don't know if you've ever taken on battles like this and appealed. I don't know what you – but what do you think about this on what he's saying?
So the first thing is I'm going to agree with what Mark said. The answer is in the trust document. As far as conservatorship is concerned, you can lose capacity, you can regain capacity. However, the trust document may say that if this individual is declared incapacitated or has a conservator appointed on their behalf, then the next trustee steps in and takes over. And unless the trust document says that...
What did you say, Tom?
Her daughter would have been the next trustee in line who would have made the same decision. In fact, was involved in it.
Well, who's to say the daughter didn't sell it then?
Well, because the documents probably have the other lady's name all over it. So, Blake,
she signed it.
What would you do if they came into you with this problem?
I need to review the trust document. The trust document probably did not say that the daughter is removed and mother is returned as trustee. So Red Rocks has a good case. They've already won it. The issue is probably res judicata. Your only option would be to appeal it if you can find some error that occurred in the trial court level.
And listen to this, Blake. What they're saying is if you appeal this, we're not going to come after just that $300,000. They're going to come after 1.5.
Red Rocks has some good attorneys, and they are enforcing a gift.
Hey, Blake, Blake, I want to ask you something, though. These are all good points, but to review this, if you did find in the trust documents that it truly does, she did have the right, let's just say, for argument's sake, she did have the right to sell it. What would you have to appeal only on a mistake, or could the mistake be they didn't interpret the trust document correctly?
It's once the court has decided something on this was done by summary judgment.
Yes.
Well, then you may have a better argument for trying to reopen the case.
That's what I thought, because a summary judgment says a summary judgment says basically that the judge finds no controversy of fact, right?
Correct. That it wasn't even contested.
Right.
But it's still going to be an uphill battle, and I don't think the trust document is going. I've never seen a trust document that says if somebody loses capacity and regains it, that they can take it back for a charitable remainder trust. For a revocable trust, sure, but for this type of trust, I think she's out of luck.
See, now, Tom, Blake has seen many, many charitable remainder trusts, and he's saying usually they do not allow for incapacitation and then recapacitation, if that's a word.
Well, and I've read the trust, and I can't recall whether there was anything in there other than the fact that the next trustee in line would have been her daughter.
Yeah, but she wasn't. So if the wife did it, it's invalid.
And this trust was reviewed by 3 different attorneys before this building was sold.
Blake, let me ask you something. Here's what I want to know. This is what's important. I need to know this. when you appeal something, if you found, Blake, straight up, that this woman had every single right to do it, let's just say it's different than the ones you've seen. What I'm asking you is, to appeal the first case, do you have to find an error in process, or can you find an error in fact?
Generally, it's got to be an error that the trial judge made. It's not simply new evidence being presented.
So, in other words, it's not simply because you disagree with the summary judgment. Although I believe what you said with a disagreement in a summary judgment, I do believe that there is something. I don't know what you call it, but something like a review of the verdict or a judicial review where you ask another judge to look at the decision, but it's not a full appeal. Have you heard of that?
Judicial review is something...
Well, not judicial review on him, but I don't know what the word is, but where you ask for a reconsideration of the judgment, so to speak.
So, it may be an appealable issue, but it is tricky water that the client would be getting into, especially if Red Rocks is threatening further damage.
Okay, what I need to know is, how much would it cost to review that document?
Just to review a document may just take a few hours and a couple $1,000, or that would not be too much of an issue. But we'd also need to review the court filings before we can make our determination whether or not something could be appealed. It's going to cost $5,000.
Okay. See, Tom, because he's got to go through each and every document and all of the evidence. And Tom, is she inclined to do something like that, or are you just calling?
To be honest with you, I think if she proceeds with this any further, she will literally die.
Okay, Mark.
Tom said something pretty interesting.
Go ahead, Mark.
He said 3 different attorneys they paid to look over this. Wouldn't they be held accountable somewhere? If 3 different people looked at this sale in the trust and said it's good, how about some E&O insurance or something?
I don't know. That would be used all the time with attorneys. Hold on.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can hear Russ Kaminsky.
That's why I choose not to leave anything to Arapahoe Community College.
No, Red Rocks.
Well, them too.
That's what I say. I think people should think second thoughts about going into it.
I'm leaving all my shit to a cat sanctuary in Hawaii.
You do?
Yeah, it's called Bonnie.
I-70 hesitates either direction, passing on I-25 ramps. If a report of a crash...
So they gave... And here a guy says that they don't even think Red Rocks would know because the attorneys do it. So, if they don't know, they should know. If they don't know this is going on, then they're incompetent, whoever's running Red Rocks.
Yeah, but what are they going to do? If they already won, what is Red Rocks going to say to their attorneys?
No, but going through there says, wow, these people have given us over
they're
$1
never
million.
going to give back. They're never going to give back what they were. They won't. I don't care who you are. If you're a charity and you just got another 300 handed to you, you're not going to say to your they gave us enough.
No, well, they should have been, while they were going through it, they should have known what was going on. I'm saying that is looking to get horse in the mouth.
Of course it is, but they're not going to do it. I love the way Mitch Floria does business at the Art of Granite. He is so confident of the value he provides that he will give prices on the phone. And why can he do that? Because his pricing structure is simple. He only charges for the actual fabrication and installation of the granite or marble or quartz or whatever you do. Now, here's how he works. He tears out and hauls away free. He does the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. And all materials are wholesale, so you can get a price on the phone right now. 303-386-5919. And that price will be a real price. 303-386-5919.
Well, here's something, Tom. Well, if enough people wrote to him and said, I was thinking of donating to you.
They're not giving $300,000 up.
I would love for a huge manufacturer to say, fuck you.
Yeah, but okay, let's look at this the other side, because I agree with you. But what happens if the husband really did want them to get it because the wife fucking blew some guy someday or something. How do you know what? Seriously, if it was his money, he made it, and he wanted it to go there.
But that's not what the trust said. She was a benefactor of that after he died.
That's true. Good point.
Of course, it's a great point. It all has to work.
Good point, Doc.
Be done at the top of the hour. He has a call he has to get on. And then Joe Lazaro is going to be available again at 11. Is that okay? Okay.
Have you been stopped at a DUI checkpoint? No. Have you?
Yeah, I have in my life, yeah.
So you're saying if you just
in fact, right at, I'll tell you exactly where it was, I-25 in Lincoln. But it was everybody, every single motherfucker.
They have to stop everybody. Right, so you can just put your license on your window, and that's it?
Let's ask Joe.
Yeah,
I asked him, he said there are a lot of restrictions, but if you just hand them your license, don't say anything, and they don't have probable cause, they can't stop you.
Well, what happens if your license is from Germany?
Well then, but all they gotta say is we smell. And they say that all the time. Cops lie.
Well, Dan is used to people telling me smell.
Well, now, the Supreme Court has said that you
bastard!
That you can't.
I heard that. Remember that one, the low talker? You bastard!
Hey, I was watching this thing last night on the show. You know who has a big part in it? Newman.
Oh, really?
Wayne Knight has a big part in it.
And, well, he had a big part in, what was that, where she crossed her legs? What was that one? The good-looking one, and she was up for like murder. She crossed.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
She didn't have
with Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone.
Newman was in there.
Yeah, he was a detective.
Really?
He was a detective. And he sit there sweating and stuff when she was crossing her leg. Oh. You looking it up because you don't believe me.
They had a big part. I was watching this thing called Startup.
He lost a lot of weight after Seinfeld.
Well, he still looks like himself in this thing I was watching.
All the benefits of IDs at your door. Rocky Mountain ID.
Wouldn't you think a bus that was in Phoenix?
Oh, you know what?
Wouldn't it fuck shit up?
Yes, I unless they had in a big garage.
But even in a garage, wouldn't it just bake?
No.
It's not that. I mean, so it gets 120. So what? It's a sun.
How does that attack like leather and everything else? Forget about the sun, just the heat. All right, so you could go, okay, so what you're saying is you, no sunlight, could go into a 180-degree fucking tent and have no problem.
Well, look at how many cows and horses are sitting out there in the sun.
We're here to help you and your family.
And cows. Okay, now that you put it that way.
It's not fucking our problem.
Yeah, but cows are like leather.
They are leather.
That's how they become leather. God, you're a child. He truly is a child.
And you're not?
I am not.
No, I think the sun is the worst. You know, I tell you what.
The mental age in this room averages about 10.5.
That's taking you into consideration.
Well, yeah, between the four of us.
Off your first
well, we can all admit Thomas the lowest.
And say get H2O for this exclusive offer.
On the maturity level, I'm, of course, on the top.
Yeah, but you're only 10.6. Did you erase what was underneath your T-shirt? It used to be Lucky Strikes?
I'm smoking. You probably want to get laid tonight. So he's saying it's Lucky Strikes.
Do they even make them anymore? Lucky Strikes?
I can't believe how much cigarettes are. It's insane, isn't it?
Oh, God. Until you, yeah, what is a carton like? 75, 80 bucks?
I don't know. It's ridiculous. I think it's about $5.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Blake Harris needs to run, so I need to get a bottom line here. Blake, as far as this trust goes, as you said, it's an uphill battle and all of that. But what basically would you do?
I mean, from the facts of this situation, where number one, Red Rocks is going to come after them for money. This case has already been decided. She had an attorney representing her, and it sounds like this could kill the client. I don't think this is one I would pursue.
Okay. Now, Blake, on the other hand, Mark asked, when an attorney, let's say the attorney did make a mistake and did not put up a defense because the trust was so clear, you wouldn't have a case against the attorney, would you?
I mean, if the case was clear, then no, you wouldn't have you would not have a case against an attorney.
No, I mean if the trust clearly showed she had a right to sell, would the attorney is that an error on the attorney's part that a client can go after?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. They can go after, but they would not succeed.
Because really, for everyone listening, when you go after an attorney for errors and omissions, we're talking about gross negligence or egregious errors, right?
Wouldn't that be a pretty egregious error if you brought the trust and you brought the paperwork to sell the building and say, can I do this? And 3 attorneys tell you, yes, you can do it, and then you find out you can't.
I would say the fact that 3 attorneys said it means that it must be complicated. No, Mark, I think, to give you an idea, Blake, an errors and omissions, that would be missing a court deadline that really screws you up, right? Something like that, right?
I mean, you can go after an attorney for negligence. It does not have to be gross. It does not have to be gross negligence. And sometimes one attorney gets things wrong. Sometimes 3 attorneys get things wrong. So Mark does have a valid point that these attorneys may be worth going after if all 3 of them got it wrong.
Okay,
it's just like
Mark,
malpractice. So you got to get another attorney to admit it.
I guess what I'm saying, Mark, is it would have to be pretty clear cut, Blake, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't think it's as clear cut as those attorneys. You know, I think it might be a little hazy. But in any case, thank you, Blake, for being here. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. And Blake, how's your TikTok going? I'm curious as hell. I mean, you're the only attorney I know so far from my stable, my wheelhouse that has a TikTok. How's it going?
I've got over 160,000 followers, so it must be triggering some people's interest.
Okay, wow.
I love the way he does business. I talked to him for about 30 minutes about my parents. He came up with the trust, gave me a flat rate price.
I know.
You're the bomb, man.
I know, and we really appreciate you, Blake. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. Okay, so, Tom, that's it, basically. We're done with that right now. And now we're going to talk about Eva, and her son bought a truck with a branded title. After that, what about a Ducati motorcycle update? That's important. And then a problem with a Harley purchase. Hey, it's spring and summer. You can tell with the motorcycle stuff. All of that coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget, referralist.com.
Again, you know what the password by our guest is?
With all the recent huge changes in our economy, this is a really important time to pay attention to your spending and your savings. Don't waste money, and very importantly, don't...
So every time I go to log on my U.S. Bank, every time.
A mortgage refinance. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky.
The first time I log on, it says your account's locked due to too many attempts. I swear to God.
I can't read that.
You're able to pull out cash.
Now, Mark,
yes, sir.
I have to redo this, but I can't do it till Monday.
Which one?
The one in the spring.
That's all right, because I still have it directed there, but get her done.
No, but hold on. I need to know, though, what is, you didn't send me the news.
Yeah, I did.
Well, what is it? Where did you send it to me?
It's in that email.
Okay.
Pull the email. It's in that email. I mean, I don't mind resending.
No, I'm just going to put it on here.
It is.
Yes, you did it. You did it.
ZeroResColoradoSprings.com.
I might be able to just insert that.
That's what I was saying. Zero Res Colorado Springs, USA.
I'm going to order.
I'm
ordering the mic right now, by the way, and then we'll decide on that.
Why don't you just change things?
Because I just settled the account just now, and I put a shitload of money in it, and it's connected to my QuickBooks.
Okay.
And on and on. It's just a pain in the ass, man.
I think more people should sue attorneys.
I think more people should sue attorneys. Why? Why do you say that?
Because I think a lot of them don't do their due diligence.
If 3 people really looked at that, man, Here's probably what happened. She said that, but they didn't hire anybody to look at it. I bet they didn't have someone that knew what the hell they were doing.
But then, if you don't know what you're doing, should you?
Depends if you're doing it as a favor or if you're acting as an attorney.
No, they hired an attorney 60 or 70.
That's what he said, but
Look at
what are
fucking
the
Biden.
chances
Look
that
at Biden
three
with his
different
mask.
people say
Biden will not go
Still
anywhere
wearing a
without
mask?
You know, everybody's vaccinated, but he wears a mask.
We got Mr. Magoo as a president.
$9 trillion.
He's a cartoon character.
No, that was 900 billion, I think.
On Memorial Day weekend,
He's moved off the trillion. He can't get it through.
By the way, everything on CNN is positive about him. Everything on Fox is critical. I'm going to tell you, do you know that CNN, their ratings since January, down 70%.
That's not even enough.
Down 70%. They're so fucking bad.
Oh yeah, look at the guy Cuomo in there. Not Cuomo. Yeah, Cuomo Fredo. What was it? What's his name? Is that
Fredo. No, his name is it an Andrew?
It's Chris Cuomo. Chris, there it is. Andrew Cuomo was the governor. His dad was a super guy.
No, I know you both said that.
Mario was a great
governor.
He was very
We all loved him.
Yep. And he was a true Democrat, a liberal Democrat without being a progressive. He was a smart, very, very smart guy.
I love that. The nickname. He hates that nickname.
Hates what?
It's possible.
Because they called him Fredo and he almost punched the guy.
He's from The Godfather.
Right. He was a slow son.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. Fredo? Yeah. He was the son that was the oldest. I think he was the oldest son, right?
I don't
And he
remember.
thought he should inherit.
You're right.
He wanted to be the guy.
Working and learning. 529 is in staples.com/signage for details.
Dwayne's CPA went in.
Biden is really Mr.
to
Magoo.
keep his books and his sanity.
I'll tell you, in 2024, it's going to be Kamala.
Hey, who can I ask about a certain stock number? A few questions.
She won't even do it.
When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your
She's
first
going to be the
quality
candidate.
benefits.
Oh, she might be the
Resumes on
candidate. That's what I'm
Indeed.
saying. The only way that
Visit
Republicans can win,
Indeed.com/credit and get $75 worth of
they
first
put on
sponsor
Nikki
job.
Haley.
Terms and conditions apply.
Because Nikki Haley's a woman. She's a woman of color. And that takes like two of the major points. She's Indian.
Oh, is she really?
Eastern Indian.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you put Nikki Haley. That way the Democrats can't complain about a male versus
Hey,
female.
you guys, stock number 7604U.
Person of color versus a non-person of color. So that takes away half of the
How do you?
I don't think anything
you
anybody can
guys, I
dispute
usually use
slept away.
private sellers, so.
She got AG by sleeping with Willie.
Yeah, so how do I find out, like, how many owners? I mean, just general, some general information. Without
I'm not. I don't know enough about that.
Oh, yeah, it's very public affair.
They don't put up a woman of color. Democrats are going to win.
And dental insurance.
I don't know. I think everything is going to just fall. Now, granted, they're still going to have the media behind it. That's the thing about it is the media's never been that.
Well, yeah, but look what the media was behind Hillary.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Hillary
send me,
is so
let me give you my email. I'd love that.
Kamala might be too. We don't know.
Oh, hold on one second.
Not only that, people were pissed off at
With that Fred Sports
Yeah.
Traffic Center, South I-25 slows through downtown.
I think Nikki Haley's going to be the only one that
And
can
I-70 hesitates either direction, passing.
But yeah, boy, I tell you what, I think there's other good
crash north on I-225 after
But no
Butler.
women of
It's
color.
not slowing us down so
Yes.
far. Although we have an accident on Evans.
Susan Rich.
And an earlier car versus motorcycle wreck eastbound Colfax at Valencia.
One time the lady used to be Secretary of State.
Fox 31 pinpoint weather, sunny
There's a
and
woman
81
governor.
for the high today. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking.
thunderstorm Saturday,
Right.
high of 71.
She's
Then
white.
more rain and 60 degrees for Sunday and Monday.
I don't
Right
see
now,
color,
65 with your impact.
I just see
Weather.
people.
I'm Dustin
Me
Rich.
too. Except when it comes to elections.
Don't know where to start. Rocket Camp. Check out the Rocket Mortgage Homebuyer
No,
Guide
I
for
just,
articles,
oh,
tips,
God.
and tools.
Seriously, he is a cartoon character. Like, he is. The guy is a mumbling He's like one of the Three Stooges.
Well, you know, he's a hope.
It's not just, he was a bum boy before. He's always been a bum boy.
And he's even worse now.
Do you know when he first got elected, he said he had like 2 or 3 degrees, and he finished way in the top 10% of his class, and he did none of that. He had 1 degree, bottom of his class, but you know, that never comes up.
Well, he didn't come up that much in Bush either.
He didn't lie about it.
No, but he was a bottom of his class, and he was
Bush. Okay, here's something on Bush. Bush had better grades than what's his name that he ran against? Who's the guy that travels around? No, not Gore. The second time. We run against the second time.
that Bush ran against.
Yeah, the guy with he's a gigolo. He married the Heinz fortune.
Oh, Kerry.
Kerry had worse grades than Bush.
So, well, they always pictured Bush as a bum.
I know, and he was. But you know what? I tell you, this is one thing. When Bush gave his State of the Union, I came back and proud to be an American. Obama.
Well, I voted for Bush the first time. I couldn't vote for the second time.
I agree. You know what? My dad said, and I don't say he's got a good administration. I agree. Probably a lot of that was changed.
My feeling was.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran will do market valuations of your home at no charge, just for the asking. They're true market valuations that'll tell you what your home will bring on the open market. Remember that. It's better than Zillow or even an appraisal, because houses are going for more than appraisals right now. So get your market valuation, 303-920-1622, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Now, we have Joe Lazzara on, a criminal defense attorney who we'll go to because we have a few more questions for him, okay? And one we talked about was being intoxicated behind the wheel where keys are easily accessible. You can be charged with a DUI. Don't think you can just go and sleep it off in your car or sit in your car and listen to music and not be in peril. All right? That's number one. Number two, we've talked about the easiest thing to do is not drink and drive or get a designated driver or Uber or Lyft or something like that. Now, Joe. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We walk a fine line here because we're not trying to encourage people, obviously, and we don't want to get people, for example, I don't know, give them tricks of the trade. But what I do want to do, Joe, is, and there is nothing wrong with talking about your rights when you are stopped. All right. So you're stopped. You've been drinking. You don't think you're drunk. But maybe you are. You don't know. You just say, oh, my God, maybe I did have a little too much. Maybe I didn't. I'm not talking about these hardened alcoholics. I'm talking about, I've heard from soccer moms, soccer dads. I've heard from, older people. I've heard from younger people who truly did not know. And they just had maybe a drink or two, two drinks maybe. Here's what I want to know. What do you do? First, they come up to you. What do you do? Walk me through it. Hello, officer.
The first thing, you should roll down your window slightly. Already have your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance readily accessible. Hand that to them through the window. Keep your hands visible so they can see what you're doing. And then, you want to be honest but not overly honest. So what you got to remember is anything you say can and will be used against you. So when they ask you, have you been drinking? Once you acknowledge that you have, they're going to go into the next step of their investigation. So that's, something to always keep in mind. So, people will say, oh, I've only had a beer or two. That opens the door.
But if you lied and said, I wasn't drinking, and then they find out you were, isn't that worse?
It's not necessarily worse, but, at certain types of hearings, it can come back to create a little bit of a problem. I would just simply not acknowledge that. I would not admit 1 or 2 drinks, because once you do, they're going to ask you to exit the vehicle and do voluntary roadsides. And if you do acknowledge it, you do say, if you truly only had 1 or 2 drinks, they'll ask you to do voluntary roadsides. Voluntary roadsides, they're voluntary. They're difficult to do even if you're sober. And as you get older, it's even more difficult. So I would always refuse voluntary roadsides if they arrest you at that point.
Okay. And if you do it, then what?
So if you do the roadsides typically are the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, the walk and turn, the one-leg stands. Those are the 3 standardized tests. If you do those and you pass them...
Well, wait, if you don't do them, wait, you can refuse that.
You can, and that's what I would tell you to do.
Okay, but ultimately, what will happen? So you refuse that. What's the next step?
The officer has to determine whether or not he has probable cause at that point in time to arrest you. And if he does not have probable cause to arrest you, he has to let you go.
But I think that at this point they'd probably arrest you, wouldn't they?
Some officers will. Yeah, I mean, if
and
they
then
have...
what? Then how do they determine? Then do they call for a blood test to come to you?
Well, what they'll do is they'll advise you the express consent law, which means you have a choice between a blood test or a breath test. So if you elect a test and it's under the legal limit, you get let go. You still have been arrested, but they'll release you. If you submit to a blood test, that's not going to be analyzed for 2 weeks to a couple months. So you won't get that result until
will they let you go?
No. So a lot of the jurisdictions will just release you to a summons. Some may take you to detox. Douglas County will take you to jail, and you'll have to bond out. So if you submit to a blood test, you will not have that result right then and there. You will not know that result for several months.
Hey Joe, don't you have the opportunity of a roadside breathalyzer or the touching the nose and stuff?
Well, those are other roadsides. So the other roadsides, finger to nose, the modified Romberg, alphabet test, counting test, those are not necessarily standardized. Some officers will do them, some of them will not. With regards to that portable breath test, yes, that is a roadside maneuver. The officers will ask you, or they're supposed to ask you specifically, this is part of roadsides, would you like to do it? It is voluntary. But what you have to remember is those PBTs are not calibrated. What they're registering is just alcohol. They're giving a ballpark idea. So that may be enough to get to the probable cause. So the real question is, are you intoxicated?
What if you know what if you know, like you were looking at something you shouldn't have been looking at, and you swerved a little? It's a Friday night. You know you haven't been drinking.
Then go ahead and do it.
Do everything.
Yeah. If you're sober or you literally have only had one beer, I would probably do those things. If you're drunk, have you been drinking? No. You want to do roadsides? No. You want to do a test? No.
Okay.
And that's if you're drunk. But if you're sober, 1 or 2 drinks, it's a finer line, because especially if it's a first offense, because you want to be cooperative. You may or may not be arrested. You're on that borderline.
Okay. So basically, the best thing, of course, is not to have that question. And how many drinks does it usually take to be over the legal limit?
Beer and a half. 2 beers for sure.
Wow, that's hardly anything.
So you remember the BAC, the legal limit is a 0.05. You're affected by alcohol to the slightest degree. It's a low limit.
Wow. Okay.
And people metabolize alcohol differently, especially women who have a tendency to have higher BACs and to store the alcohol. So even if they go out and have a couple glasses of wine, more likely than not, they're going to be over that legal limit versus you or I having the same number of drinks. We may metabolize that alcohol drastically different than a woman.
Even if they identify as a man? Oh, stop. I'm just kidding. Don't get your panties in a ruffle. All right, Joe Lazzara, 303-429-6200. Doc, did you have something? And is it going to be medical?
No.
All right, go ahead.
Quick question. If you have your license, registration, and proof of insurance in a plastic folder, see-through plastic folder, and you just roll your window down 2 inches and hand them that, and don't say a word, can they do anything?
They'll usually ask that you remove the documents from the plastic folder. So it's smart to have that folder. I know what you're talking about it, because that way it's handy. But at the same time, if you're intoxicated, you're going to have that manual dexterity problem, even if you're sober, trying to get those documents out in between the 2 plastics.
All right.
But yeah, I keep mine in that folder. That way they're readily accessible and I could easily hand it to any police officer.
All right. We appreciate it, Joe. 303-429-6200, LazzaraLegal.com, LAZZARA. And he's also at referrallist.com if you search for Joe or Lazzara. So coming up, we'll take all of your calls. So William, Eva, Aaron, and David, hang on.
There's an enzyme in your body, Tom, called the acetylcholine esterase, which is what denatures out, which metabolizes alcohol in your system. And there are people who are fast acetylators and people who are slow. So you and I can drink the same amount of alcohol, and if one of us has a gene to be a fast acetylator, I will metabolize alcohol much faster than you will. So my test will be negative much sooner than yours. And it's a genetic.
You mean you will be drunker or less drunk?
Less drunk, because you denature the alcohol.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Now, I told you about his free, complimentary market analysis of your home. It's a market value. It's free for the asking, based on his 26 years of experience. Way more valuable than even an appraisal, and way more valuable than Zillow, because it goes based on his sales and what he's done. He wants to increase his market knowledge, so he's doing it free of charge. 303-920-1622. But something that I don't often talk about, if you're looking to buy, he has a team dedicated to that. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
If you need a vehicle, but you're like, oh, my credit's not that great, don't worry about it. Go to the Sharpest Ride. Whether you have good credit or bad.
No, I read a little book on that. If you think you're drunk, you know you're drunk, right, don't do anything. Right. If you're not, never do the touch toe, whatever. Always say you'll do the breathalyzer instead. Because if you refuse everything, now they're going to take it, impound your car, take you into the, and then you do your.
Well, one of my buddies, one of the guys that deals in a poker game, got stopped for DUI. He went. It was in Clear Creek, whatever it is, up by Black Hawk.
Idaho Springs.
No, in Black Hawk. That's Gilpin County. They brought him to the hospital, took his blood, and he was released. After several hours, they put him in a detox tank, and he still hasn't got his blood results yet. But he has no restrictions on his license or anything else until they get the blood results.
See, he says that in Douglas County, it's already right in jail there. So, like, say my son did, and then so when they go there, he went to the blood test. Right, he should have done it right there, and he would have got his car. So he blew a .01 because they wanted. So they got different machines. They got the roadside machine, right? You know, and they got the big breathalyzer machine, which is what you want to use. Well, that's the only one that they can use in court. The other one you can't use in court. So he chose the blood test, but they needed to do the thing to see if they're going to throw him in detox. And he blew a .01, which is nothing. And so even though that, then he was going to do the blood test. The guy came in. I might have told you the story. He did the blood test, and he goes, "Wait, I just did this blood test. Why do I use that?" The doc goes, "Refusal." Then got him on refusal. Really? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I tell you, this is a rap roll. Cops lie. Oh, I know.
If you've ever sold a home,
and that was Sergeant Gonzalez, if you're listening.
Prep work to the open houses.
I think a lot of cops become cops because they want the power.
I think you're right. I hate to hear that.
Not because they want to help people. I think a lot of cops want the power that badge and gun.
I hate to hear that. I really do.
You go on YouTube. There's so many actual videos. I'm not talking about people making stuff up, but actual videos of cops abusing people. That it's beyond question.
Of course, you know, a lot of those stuff too. They're the worst of the worst. You know,
but still, there's so many of them.
There is a lot. Remember, there's a lot of cops out there too.
I know, but people, you know. A lot of them are on these people who do the First Amendment audits, and they'll go and take, just walk along properties with a camera taking a video, taking pictures, and then the cops try to arrest them because they say, you're not allowed to take pictures here. And the Supreme Court has said, and the Homeland Security said, if you're in a public space, you can take pictures of anything you can see.
That's right, of course. I see. I've done all the legal stuff because of TV. I can tell you anything you need about privacy and invasion.
Right.
Anything. People used to get pissed at me. I said, "Fuck, sue me," because I knew I was right.
If you're in a public area and you can't trespass your eyes, basically. So whatever you're standing,
You can't get on a ladder and you can't do anything.
Right, but if you're walking on a sidewalk, public sidewalk or public easeway, you can take pictures of even classified military operations. Anything that you can see, you're legally allowed to take a picture.
That's exactly right.
And if you walk into a police station or a public library or a city hall, that's a public area, you can film anything you can see. HIPAA rules do not apply. Nothing applies. You have a constitutional right to take pictures of anything you can see in public area.
No, like I said,
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Yeah.
You only pay for what you need.
And even though they might try to pressure you, say you can't do that. But like I say, I wouldn't want to be a cop. I'd say and I won't say most cops do this like you said. Most. I mean, I think there's a lot of but the unions and this fucking blue code of silence. Right. I can't believe people, they say defund the police, defund the fucking union. Yep.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Genesis, TotalExteriors.com, your place for solar systems, along with all the stuff on the outside of your home, stucco, siding, windows, doors, decks. They do wonderful painting, and now solar. And they're wonderful people. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. You find them at referralist.com. 303-679-8509. Let's talk. Let's find out what's on your mind. So, you've been holding the longest there, William. Go ahead, William. What's happening? Hello, William.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
What's going on with you, man?
Okay, here's what's happening, man. I purchased this 2017 Heritage Softail up in Loveland, Colorado.
Yes.
From this company called CJM. Corey Beckman is the one that sold me the bike.
Now wait, it was a dealership, William?
Yeah.
Okay.
They also repaired them too.
Okay. And so it's and the name of that dealership again?
His name was Corey Beckman.
Corey Beckman, but what's the name of the dealership?
CJM Enterprises.
Oh, CJM. Okay, got it, sir. I got it.
Yeah. Okay, now this was October of last year.
Okay.
I was supposed to get my registration, never got it. I can't get the bike titled, so I'm paying for a bike that's not registered. It's sitting in my garage.
Now, hold on. Why can't you get it registered?
Okay, this is what they sent to me. I got this piece of paper in May the 11th.
And what year is your bike, did you say?
2017.
Okay, so what did the paper say you got?
The paper says transaction rejected.
Why?
Okay, they put the VIN number in there, and it says here, the dealership has returned your paperwork for your 2017 Harley Davidson. It is ready for you to come in and register the motorcycle. The dealership sent $16 more than what was required to the title and filed a lien to Belco Credit Union. That additional amount can be applied to your cost of registration. Make sure to provide proof of insurance. You come in to register.
Right.
The paperwork will be held in Boulder County. I did this last week. I went into Boulder. I live in Longmont.
Right.
I went in there, and this lady was telling me, we got nothing. There's nothing in there.
Wait a minute. You got a notice from Motor Vehicles saying to come in and to register it, and when you went in, they said they had no record of it.
There was no record, correct.
Wait a minute, but they also said there was a lien on it. Were you expecting that? What lien is on it?
Okay, this is the deal. Belco gave him the money for me to have the bike.
Oh, okay. I got it. So they do have that letter you got has the recorded lien from Belco, and everything else is correct. But when you actually go into the office, did you show them that letter?
No, I didn't. See, no, I was busy. I'm working right now.
But when you went into DMV, they said we have no record of your bike or your purchase.
No record, nothing.
And that's where it stands right now?
That's where it stands right now. They have
Suzanne,
no
what did you want to say? Wait, Suzanne, what did you want to
Well,
say?
I just wanted to make a point that I looked online at the dealership, and they're permanently closed.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if that's a
Now,
piece in this.
William, hold on. What did you get? You're buying documents. What do you have?
I got my bike I got this bike October last year.
I got it. What do you have? What documents? I want to know all of your documents.
The VIN number. I have my VIN number.
Got it. What else?
Sales and all that.
All right.
I sent it up here to this guy named Sundin.
But I don't understand. Somebody from DMV sent you that letter. They couldn't have sent you that letter without them having a record. Are you at the wrong DMV office? Maybe the wrong county?
No, sir. This is Boulder County.
And that's where you live?
I live yes. Longmont, part of Boulder County. Yeah.
Send us that letter.
I think we can help.
William, I have no idea how you got a letter. You bring the letter in and say, here is my bike. I'm here to register it. And they say, we have no record of it.
Correct.
Okay, hold on, man. This is crazy. We need to get a copy of that letter. And we do have contacts at DMV, and we also have deputies that are tenacious. So hang on. All right. So Eva, last Friday, did we talk last Friday, Eva?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was last Friday.
I want you to recap what is happening. Your grandson, 24 years old, bought the 2017 Dodge Ram.
Correct. Yes.
And as it turns out, it had a salvage title. You said, right? And he didn't know it. And he didn't know it.
Yeah, but we discovered that this dealership, the only thing they sell is that.
No, we did discover that. We also discovered that they probably do a good job at rebuilding them.
Well, considering they have 2 locations and been in business for 7 years, and the first time we ever heard a complaint was last week, I'd say yes.
Here's what I need to know, Eva. Other than it being from salvage and rebuilt, what is the problem with this purchase, other than that?
Okay, well, what the problem might be is that they didn't service it properly to sell it.
They don't have to service anything to sell it. So what does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
Well, it's unsafe to drive.
Okay, now different. That's different. There's a difference between servicing it before you sell it, like the fluids and the filters, and then there are safety items, 2 different things. So what do you mean it was unsafe? Because in Colorado, if it's unsafe, you can undo the deal or make them fix it if truly it was unsafe. This purchase was made let me get this again, Eva. This was made, it was 2017. When did he actually buy it?
February 15, 2021.
Okay, so it was just February of 2021. So what I need to know, what is unsafe about it?
Okay, he brought it. He was working on the brakes because there was some.
Just go right to the part. Go right to the part where you found unsafe stuff from the purchase. What's unsafe at the time of purchase?
Can I talk? He worked on the brake pad and he took the rotor off, and it definitely is worn out, and the brakes were uneven. So he took it to ASR Automotive Services, and they told him, do not drive this. It's unsafe.
Did they say what was unsafe?
Yes, I'm getting to that. They said that the differential for the 4-wheel drive is unsafe to drive.
Did the diff?
And the axles are bad. And the rotor hub assembly, everything.
Now, hold on. Here's what we have to be really clear on this, Eva. Really clear. Now, you have 3 issues here. Listen carefully. First, you have the salvage issue. However, they got a rebuilt title. So that was taken care of. You can't go back on that. Then number 2, you have safety issues. That you can nail them on if they had a truck unsafe. But what you're talking about with differentials and axles is not a safety issue. Now, listen, I know what you're going to say, like everyone said, well, what if it falls off or falls apart? No, that's not what they're talking about with safety items. For as-is safety items, they're talking about very basic things like a windshield and brakes and seat belts. They're not talking about the axle or the drivetrain or that. That is called as is. So we're going to have a big problem because I have a feeling that the problems you found are more of the as is and should have been checked out before he bought it problem than a safety problem. Now, the brakes we might be able to get him on, but not the differential and the axles. And also, I would want to be sure that those things truly are bad before I go off and say he has to have them done. Suze?
Did you see the warranty in front of you? I circled it.
Okay. It's as is, right?
Very as is.
Well, of course. No warranty on anything. Right. I get it. And that's what most as is. They go further. Now, I want to make it clear. The salvage issue is not an issue because your son clearly knew it was from salvage. And also, your grandson. And also, that's all the dealer sells. And also, they got the title they needed to get. They get the VIN inspections and everything they need to be able to resell these. So that issue is not an issue. The only issue we have here is if it was unsafe. Again, ASR may say it's unsafe, meaning it's going to break down, but it's not unsafe like it's going to kill someone. We have a problem because I think you inherited, your grandson bought something that's going to need thousands of dollars worth of work, and that's under the as-is. He should have had this checked. So I want to know, what does ASR say it will take to fix all these things?
$5,000. But may I add two other things, please?
Of course. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm questioning the actual mileage on it, number one, because he kept the brake pads and the rotor, and there's no way that was 28,000 miles. However, aside from that, did you look at the dealer's bill of sale for a motor vehicle? It has void written all over it.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
I don't know what she's talking about either.
You have the bill of sale in front of you, don't you? Isn't that what that is?
Yes, and it says void in light gray.
It's probably because it was photocopied.
Well, listen, here's what I'm saying. You want to know, do you have an issue to take this truck back or to make them do something? Okay, first, there's almost no way. No, I'm not going to say almost. There's no way you're going to get them to repair it. Now, if they rolled back the odometer, yes, you could undo the deal. But the proof, the burden is going to be on you. So you have to do Carfaxes, and you have to research the lineage to be sure. Okay? So that's what you need to do. So did you do a lineage search on the Carfaxes?
I don't have a computer. I wouldn't even know how to do that.
Well, then you need someone to do this. Mark, do we have any we can do for her? Can we see this truck? Now, here's the deal. Just because you feel the odometer was rolled back isn't enough.
Right.
So what do you want to do?
I called the customer service rep and left a message, and he never got back to us.
Well, okay. Well, what do you want him to do? I mean, okay, they probably should get back to you, okay? But what are you going to ask him to do?
Well, I wanted to talk to him like I'm talking to you about all these issues.
All right, but they're not going to fix them. It's as is. See,
however, I'm questioning the odometer reading. I thought.
Okay, do you think they're going to say, you know, you're right, Eva, we turned back that odometer? You think they're going to say that?
I don't even know why she thinks it was turned back.
How many miles on
it? They say there was 28,000.
But it was in a major accident.
It wasn't an accident, but the brakes were worn unevenly, and there's rust and all kinds of wear on the rotors that doesn't look like
Eva,
it would be on there.
Okay, here's what you need to do. here's what you need to do. You need to get someone to pull Carfax and research the odometer statements, or get a VIN search at motor vehicle. Okay, that's what you need to do. I'm helping you. That you do that, and what it'll do, it shows the lineage of sales. So from 2017 onward, a VIN search will show the changes of title and what the odometer was each time. It will also show that on Carfax. Get that done. And if you see all of a sudden the mileage went from 100 and something down to 28,000, or from 80 down to 28,
I
then
think
you got
we
a problem.
pulled a Carfax on this one last week.
I remember some.
I think it was all normal.
Oh, here.
Void.
Okay. Yeah, that void means that it's photocopied.
Hold on. I'll look it up. I'm almost sure we did. I bet I saw it.
All right, hold on. We're going to go on to other calls. 303-713-8255.
See, this is just that. I'll tell you why they're not returning her calls. Why? Because she's driving them insane.
Well, she probably didn't even talk to him yet, Mark.
But she's just taking for what someone says. Hey, there's some rust there. It can't be 28,000 miles. What year is it? 2017.
Well, it's possible. It's possible that they rolled it back, but you can't just think it and then so it is.
If she just wants Tom to do work rather than her. And there's a major accident. Maybe it is off kilter, and that's why it wore. As far as the brake pads. No, I think you're right. You got to just check the VIN and the odometer settings.
Well, Kyle, 1700 RAM. I got it right here.
Correct.
All right.
It says, do not talk to this lady.
Does it have other oil changes? Things you've done? 20,000 miles probably wasn't a shot.
All insurance coverage.
Owner one.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you won't pay what you need. Liberty.
I went to Colorado Pain Care. I'm still going. They gave me immediate relief, and we're working on a long-term plan. I have another session with PT next week. Their physical therapy alone has gotten me so better. I mean, like my pain level right now is probably at 20% of what it was, 80% improvement, and we're going for a permanent solution. I urge you, if you have any kind of pain, these doctors are dedicated to fighting pain, and they work with all major insurance. That is coloradopaincare.com, 303-GOT-PAIN, 303-GOT-PAIN. You know that website I just gave you, coloradopaincare.com? You know, you go on there, and that's called a visit, right? Is your website getting enough visits? If you're in business, you may think it is. Maybe it can do better. Or maybe the search engines don't really find it. Or maybe it's disorganized, or it needs faster load times. All kinds of things can make your website ineffective. To make it more effective, this company specializes in it. GetFoundFast.com. Now, that company will also do a free analysis and do-it-yourself tips. I urge you to do it with no obligation. GetFoundFast.com.
Yes, the mileage is perfect.
Yeah. I'm sure because it was in an accident, and she says differentials probably tilted a little bit and stuff. That's why they wore it.
Hey, babe, I have 3 or 4 people saying you did pull a Carfax on that.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And I get so furious with this woman that she is calling for that deadbeat grandson, and he doesn't call. I just makes me mad.
He's changed.
Yeah, right. Avian. I do like his name. Avian.
Avian.
That means he's a bird. Yeah.
A-B-I-A-N.
Oh, it's A-B?
Oh,
A-B-N.
Avian.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't know how to spell Brian.
I get so furious. This woman's a sweetheart. But I get furious that she's always calling for that goddamn kid. Or guy, or man, whoever he is.
You know what used to drive me crazy when I was working? I'd get a call from a guy.
Oh, a husband.
And he'd say, my wife is having
You've
some
told
bleeding
me
of blood.
this.
And she's standing right there.
Yeah, put her on.
Let me ask her the fucking question.
I wonder if women do that because you're a male. Like, I would never have Mark call my doctor, but I mean...
No, because they were my patients, so obviously my being a male didn't bother them.
You're right.
These were established patients. And I said, let me talk to Julie or whatever, you know. It's just, it's
Makes
insane.
you crazy.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Let me ask her.
And it's weird that a man would even call it OBGYN.
Right, exactly.
That's just only call it by half. You're dying.
I hate guys that come in and want to watch me doing a physical exam on their wife.
Why? Because they get off on it or something?
No,
or they just didn't want a man checking out the gal without
but
him
the
there.
nurse is in there.
Always, right.
I know, but they probably don't know. Always, you know what? After the first visit, a lot of women didn't want the nurse in there because they just wanted to talk to me.
Yeah.
It was more like a social visit than anything else. So they didn't care if nurses in it or not. Plus, my wife was in the office, so they knew I wasn't going to do anything. I tell you, in 45 years being a doctor, I never fucked around with a patient, ever.
Yeah, I believe it.
Never. I mean, it's one line I would never cross.
It's crazy. Wow.
To do anything untoward toward the patient. Like making a sexual comment or do something inappropriate. I couldn't imagine somebody doing that as a doctor.
I know, but you wouldn't think a priest would do something like that. You wouldn't think a teacher would do something like
I know,
that.
but a doctor's even more personal. I'm just saying, I could never imagine doing that. I would never be able to.
I know, but I don't imagine a teacher doing something. I don't imagine.
How about a chiropractor?
Oh, they're the worst.
Your back hurts, huh? Hey, pull that
Let me tell you, I want to find a doctor that looks at the whole gambit of health. Chiropractor, there's quacks out there, but I've had good chiropractors.
Why don't you go to if you want someone that's holistic, go to like Terry Grossman. If you want to,
I did go to him one time.
Okay.
You don't like Terry?
I went to that thing when he wrote the book. I went to the thing and I paid $1,000.
$1,000 for what?
Supposed to get a.
That's what he's saying.
I'm actually
for a beer mug and a tennis racket.
I'm okay.
And he was the one that, as far as for dropping cholesterol, so yeah, you can always drop lower cholesterol in bed all the time.
Well, I gave you my friend Mark's name.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Century RV, they're up north at I-25 and exit 240 or out west north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims. CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. If you're looking for an RV, shop close first. People come from all over for their low prices on everything from Class A's to pop-ups. That's CenturyRV.com. Now,
this mileage is fine.
Okay, so the mileage, and what makes you say that, Mark?
Well, I'm looking at the Carfax. Everything makes common sense, and Carfax guarantees it's okay.
So, Eva, on the Carfax, this is very important that you know this. On the Carfax, the straight lineage from the original purchase shows there's no discrepancy in the mileage.
Yeah, first guy bought it in 17. He owned it 1 year, 8 months, and then the second owner owned it 10 months, and he's the one that got it totaled. And then the third owner, who are the people you bought it from, bought it and then got a rebranded title and sold it to you guys. It's about as clear as it gets.
So there's nothing...
Okay, can I say something?
Oh, my God, you say a lot.
Yeah, you can say... No, Eva, really, you can say something. Go ahead.
Wait, I'm not...
Go ahead, Eva, go ahead. Just say something.
Everything you said is right. I want to add something. Last Friday, and I waited a week, last Friday, Tom said that ASR might be scamming my grandson and that it may not need what they say it needs.
Right.
And you had suggested that we take it down to someone you know in Longmont.
And Hands-On Auto.
On Auto. Now, I called him, and he would be willing to see it on Tuesday morning.
Good.
And he said that if you recommend it, that he would do it for free. Is that true?
He will look yes, he will do an overall inspection. Now, he's not going to take things like seriously apart and do a fluid analysis and all that, but he'll do a courtesy inspection just as a once over and get a pretty good idea. Yes, he would. Yes.
But would he know if it doesn't need a differential like
now
these
you'd
other
have to
people
see when
expect?
you get there, but even if he had to go deeper, you can do it one step at a time. He's a really good guy. Tom is wonderful. It's a great shop, and then he'll come on the show and tell us what he found. But so let's move on. Thank you. Eva, yes, that's fine. Tom, speaking of inspections, go ahead, Tom. What did you want to say?
I just want to say thank you. I used your buddy Norris over at SOS Inspection. My car got robbed couple weeks ago, so I had to buy a new car.
Whoa.
Ooh.
So what happened?
Remember, did you hear about that up in Golden?
No, what?
That Lookout Mountain, the youth center where the kid tried to escape the prison?
No, what happened?
Yeah, well, this kid steals my car out of my garage, out of the spring, goes up to Golden to spring his little buddy out of youth detention up there. It's on CBS 4. They had a whole thing on it.
Well, okay.
And the getaway car was my car, so where that thing is at, I have no idea.
Out of your garage, it was stolen?
Yeah, I was out doing yard work.
Holy crap. Was your garage open?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
anyway,
you got
that's
another
behind
car.
us, but,
So
remember
used car
you were saying
checkout.
about Norris.
Yeah, usedcarcheckout.com. He did a great job for you.
Oh, my God. You know, Mark will like this. You know, on Seinfeld, when Kramer played the dermatologist, Dr. Van Nostrand, he's going to put it in his report. Remember, he found the piece of flint on the guy's shoulder?
Yeah, and he wanted to get it checked out.
He found 3 French fries underneath the console here and put it on the record.
Oh, hey, listen, man, he's great. Thank you very much, Tom. And that's SOS Inspections. We use them all the time as our expert, usedcarcheckout.com. David, you called originally, and your motorcycle was sold to you basically under false pretenses. The invoice said something that the bike didn't have. It was an S designation, I believe. It was some kind of transmission monitoring system. Whatever it was, you didn't want it. They agreed to undo it. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And then you were looking for the proper one. Did they help you locate it?
They did. They helped me find one, but the dealership out in that state wasn't willing to work with another dealership, so it didn't work out.
Oh.
But that's okay.
So what's the latest, if you have a latest?
So I found the right bike. It's a year newer, and it's right around.
You realize you're going to die on that thing.
Hey, come on.
Look at this thing.
It's crazy good looking.
Oh, my God. It looks like something you would literally race with.
Wow. Is it beautiful? Hold on. We got a picture of it?
Yeah, it's in your email, Tom.
Look at it, man. I mean, it's like truly a race. Is that truly a race bike?
Oh, my God. It looks like something from outer space. It's so beautiful.
How fast is something like that, man?
Oh, my goodness. Look at that gas tank. Holy crap.
Does it break 200?
I mean, you know, if it was set up for the track, I'm sure, but I'm not trying to do all of that. It's,
my. Put the picture up, Dan. Put a picture up.
Is that your actual bike? You bought that one?
Yeah, it's in Vegas. I'm going out there to pick it up today.
Oh, man. Look at that thing.
Golly. So, man, you know what, David? We were happy that we were able to help you. Now, be safe, please.
Look at the size of that tire.
We appreciate you, and, listen.
You should buy one of those prepaid plots.
Jeez.
Hey, David, I'm not saying that.
Death wish.
David, Mark has had motorcycles all his life, so I don't know why he's talking like that.
That's why he got rid of them.
Anyway, 303-713-TALK. Thank you, David. He's got his Ducati. All right, we got more coming up.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KHEL on iHeart.
Does 200. I don't care what he says. The trick is if you fall off at 200, you curl up in a ball.
Like Mannix.
Lord have mercy, that's a fast bike.
What's something like that cost, Mark? Oh, no, it's like 20,000, isn't it? I think he said.
I don't know, man.
Man, it takes long.
We have a report of a crash north on I-225 after Parker.
Here, I'll look it up.
Although we have the accident on Evans at Hollywood in an earlier.
Look at those tires, they're just slick as hell. Yep.
It's a cool looking bike.
Look at how big that back tire is, man. It's ginormous.
But that ain't good on a wet pavement.
All right, they're 22 grand brand new. Let's see the horsepower here.
Now remember, this is a special one. This is like
It's a fucking V4.
Is that what most bikes are, Mark?
One size fits all
I got
insurance.
single cylinder in mine.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance.
Yeah, 203.99.
Mark? So what's one of the most common problems we deal with on the show? It's real estate. I mean, how many times do you think, Mark, people call O'Brien Legal Services for legal help when they're going through a closing? How many times?
Not many. They should, though.
Now, right now, with this show, thankfully, he's getting calls, and he should. Document reviews for a closing, that's pretty logical. When you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars, of course you would want an attorney to look over the documents. Not only that, that's only a few hundred compared to many thousands. What about when there's a property line dispute, adverse possession, easements, all of that kind of stuff? Whatever it is with real estate, you can ask your questions, complimentary reviews of your case, and then he'll give you flat rate pricing. O'Brien Legal Services, that's O-L-S, O'Brien Legal Services, OLSlaw.com, OLSlaw.com, Brad O'Brien and his team, 720-370-7388. I talked about this, but I'm going to get a real-life example for Mark, theartofgranite.com. They called and got a price on the phone and used the Art of Granite.
Twice.
And the prices on the phone
were exactly what he charged me.
And that's what you can do. He's a direct stone importer. You can buy your stone anywhere on wholesale. He doesn't care, and he'll do the work. So buy him or not, it's always wholesale. And tear out and haul away the bathroom string. Get this. Not only that, but the bathroom is free when you do the kitchen. 303-386-5919. Theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919.
If you've ever sold a home, you know.
See, why would you want a bike? This bike is made from contract.
Not to mention the surprise show.
I mean,
what if I told
look
you
at
there
you
was
see that picture where he's laying?
I mean,
that's somebody else's. Yeah, the one almost flat. You gotta have like an iron shield on your knee and elbow. Oh yeah.
That means you'll never have to deal.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
You don't drive this on just on the road.
You can.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, if you hit it like sand or
so your home is less ready.
Wet.
Joe, a recent Orchard client said,
I mean,
we got our new home for
I agree.
and got asking
What's
price.
this guy's name? I gotta get a life insurance.
Another client said,
you better be a good rider.
Carry two mortgages. Didn't have to rush to move. And most importantly, we beat out 7 other offers for our new home. Go to Orchard.com now. Enter your address and get started with a free valuation. It's that easy. That's Orchard.com.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Again, Orchard.com.
It's cool. It's definitely cool, but
I know. If you want to look cool, that's what you get.
You can, man, people don't realize you fall off at 150, man. You know what I realized? It's never you. It's the other fucking guy. It's the guy in the car that fucks you.
Don't you remember that was in Seinfeld? They were jumping out of the car, the cop car, and they said, what are you going to do? It's going 50 miles an hour. Roll. And Jerry goes, what do you think you are, Mannix?
It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose.
You remember the
episode
about the sponges? This is a true story. So I was dating a girl, and we were texting back and forth.
Now there's a better way to keep
and we've gone out like once or twice. So I wrote my sponge worthy. She didn't know what it meant. She called up her friend and said, "Does this guy want to take a shower? Does he want to go to a bathtub?" She had no idea what it meant. And I said, "Okay, if I'm sponge worthy, then we're going to get laid next time we go out." There you go. She had no idea.
Affordable and comes with an absolute.
I thought everybody knew what that meant. You wash your hands. There's a lot of people that hate the show.
Now it's time to start
really, hate the show.
What do you hate?
No, I said there's a lot of people that hate Seinfeld. That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I really don't think they understand.
I think it was the #1 show ever, dude.
What's his name? Our original board op. What was his name?
God, I don't know. We've had so many board outs.
No, the one that was playing games all the time during the.
Shannon?
No, you know the guy that's playing games or was never. Why he's watching TV all the time or playing games.
Sounds like every board
That
out we've
fucking
ever had.
Paul Bunyan.
The one that Tom gave the expensive tickets to.
Brutus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Kevin.
No, it wasn't Kevin.
Never even said thank you.
It wasn't Kevin.
We tried to warn you on that one.
Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone.
And he hated the Eagles too.
What?
How can I hate the Eagles? The football team or the group? No, the group. Oh, I hate the football team. Yeah. Because New York hates Philadelphia in sports. Then why do you like the New York Giants when it's in New Jersey? I was always a Jets fan. Although when I was in high school, we used to go to the Giant games.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, let's talk. We got a comment on Eva's truck. Well, Eva's grandson bought the truck. It was rebuilt from salvage, now has multiple problems. She's trying to get him out of it by finding something that would be unsafe, because that's the only thing you can do if it was sold as is. Even as is can't be unsafe. But unfortunately, all she's finding is stuff with the axle and all of that. The drivetrain. I'm sorry, I shouldn't make fun. But anyway, the drivetrain. My tongue is not working, and the drivetrain is not a safety issue. And here's the other thing. She thought the mileage was turned back, but even that seems to check out. Mark did a Carfax on it. So, Lewis, what did you have to say, or a suggestion, if any?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys. You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
I sit here and take an investigative here on the radio.
Hello? Oh, we can't hear you, Lewis. Damn it. We can't hear him.
Dang it.
I'm going to put him on hold.
Like he was going to start
I'm going to put him on hold. You go try to find him, okay? Suze, can you try to reestablish there? And Beth. Okay, so hold on, Beth. All right, let's try it again. Lewis, go ahead.
So, 2017. The second person.
We can't do it, man. Sucks. We just can't do it. I'm sorry, Lewis. I'm really sorry. Honest to God, we can't hear you. Beth, what's happening?
Yes, hello.
What's going on?
Well, I'm unhappy with the party that will not complete the job he's been paid for.
Who?
Buckhorn Builders, Inc.
Okay, so
Loveland,
when did
Colorado,
you?
And his name is.
We got another call on this guy a few weeks ago. That's what's made her reach out.
Okay, so you were having what done by him?
Fencing.
Oh, fencing.
And
okay.
Metal fencing.
Did you pay in advance, Beth?
Unfortunately, my husband did. I know better. I listened to you.
No, man. I mean, he should listen.
I know.
Yeah, so listen.
It's her ex-husband.
How much did he, really, seriously, how much did he pay in advance?
$5,300.
Oh, see, nothing will ever come good of that.
No, and he's never got a...
Now, did Buckhorn start the job?
They started it after I complained and got him over here.
Okay, so what did they do? What have they done so far?
They've done the posts, but not the rails and not the top.
Okay, hold on, and we'll come right back to you. Installed posts, okay, but nothing else. You know what? I'm going to lobby the state for something. You hang on. I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, on the Buckhorn Builders page, that's all I'm going to look at. Did you look at the Yelp reviews? I don't know if I got the right Buckhorn Builders. 970.
Installed posts.
is very affordable right now, thanks to interest rates that are
You know, this is
record
wrong.
lows. And when you work with American Financing, you don't
Did you say metal fence? Yeah.
loans. You actually get the full home buying experience because they partner with some of the top realtors in Colorado, so you can feel confident you're buying the right property at an affordable price with the best possible loan program. At American Financing, they are really in it for you. They're your one-stop shop when it comes to home buying. Open 7 days a week, including evening hours. So don't put off that dream home any longer.
I got their
Bigger or buy a vacation home.
their page.
Calling 303-695.
You think it's the right one? It's at 970?
Yeah.
970-221-2351.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they, I don't know, it's a terrible website.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station, available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
ABC News. On their site, I said search this site. I typed in fences. It says pretty much any pages.
We have really focused
It's a terrible site. Yeah.
search, so we're ready for the real.
What's your problem? It looks like they do stonework as their main thing.
The Memorial Day travel. He says masks will still be required at airports and on
Well,
airplanes until mid-September.
Mid-September?
That's ridiculous.
Why the freak would they do that?
Because you're dealing with Mr. Magoo.
Oh my God, man! Mid-September?
It's a family-run business since 1984.
Republicans say they could use the filibuster to block the establishment commission to
I'm
investigate the
looking for reviews.
at the Capitol. 3 Tacoma, Washington police officers are set to be arraigned on criminal charges today in connection with the death of a black man last March. 2 of those officers are facing second-degree murder charges. This is ABC News. A Memorial Day weekend tradition, the Indianapolis 500 will set up.
Oh my God, there is no airport.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway will welcome just 40% of the Speedway's capacity, but that's still 130,000 people, which will be the largest event in the U.S. since the pandemic began. IMS President Doug Bowles spoke to
Here's one. 2 reviews. They have a 1-star rating. See, Facebook's got a 5-star. Somebody on Facebook.
The city embracing the big weekend by
But you know,
all
I'd say
downtown
they don't have as much reviews
for the 33 drivers in the Indy 500.
Here it says, looks like they do custom modular homes, right?
Mars for the tiny
Yeah.
helicopter that NASA has been flying around. Officials say Ingenuity was flying at about 30 feet when a picture taken by an onboard camera
This is Ohio.
that instrument threw off a timing sequence, which ended up confusing the drone about its location. The little chopper did manage to land.
Bellevue, Colorado is a bunch
Jim
of
Ryan, ABC News.
It's got a
How
1-star.
can I promote my new curbside pickup service? It's possible with Staples Connect. I need custom floor.
Man, fucking Wisconsin.
Not just walk.
Boy, what happened?
Also possible. Staples
Nothing.
Connect
It's just so fucking far, man.
Custom printed sales.
Oh, that's where you're looking at.
Now get 15% off signs, posters, and decals when you spend
Nothing pops up around here, damn it.
It can't be that much farther than Texas, is it?
Wisconsin? Fuck yeah.
Working and learning store.
This is down near the tip of Lake Superior.
1,500 miles?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA. To keep his books and his
And
sanity,
it's
he
like
needs to find a replacement ASAP.
100 miles from the nearest fucking big airport.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
God bless, man.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a
Don't
job,
meet
you
him
immediately
halfway.
get your short list of quality
No, you gotta look at it, though, you know.
Match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Fucking technology! It fucking defeats me on purpose. It's trying to make me fucking pissed.
Well, it's succeeding.
You know, yelling at it's not going to make it any better, Tom.
Now he's being...
Although the louder
he's being
you are,
Mr.
the better.
Sensible now. Sensibilities. Well, what a wonderful man he is. You should have... Jesus Christ, how could I not be so... You know, genteel.
Taken from that.
What do I want to say? What do I want to say, Deputy Doug? Give me a word.
For what? Mark?
His conversion. So genteel is
He's
that?
being a stepperist.
I like that.
A temperist?
It's my middle name is Stemperus.
A stepperist. That's a fancy word for pain in the ass.
Are not eligible. Colorado health officials say that's because some government agencies do not report patient vaccination data to the state.
Yeah, I really don't see the reviews on it.
If your holiday weekend plan includes a hike, join the crowd. Here's Marianne Ball with Jeffco Open Space.
We've got trend that people are not using it with low season anymore, but it was very noticeable.
Republicans stop independent commission on Capitol riots.
Chief urges hikers to stay on the trails and wear a wow. Keep your dog on a leash. Jeffco uses the Lock Spot app.
We've been hiking that canyon every weekend.
You have? You've been hiking?
I've been up there.
Do you like hiking? I find it incredibly fucking boring.
No, I like it because we have the dogs.
I like the bikes. I like my mountain bike.
I'll tell you, when I used to hike back east, it was beautiful. It was green, it was lush. If you hike out here, it's dirt and pine trees.
Sometimes there's some beautiful lush areas.
I like pine trees. I love pine trees.
Yeah, but all you see is dirt and pine trees.
No, it's not as lush. You know, when they talk about colorful Colorado, I mean, I love Colorado. I love it.
I do too.
But there's
So
some
you're saying you
beautiful
don't
areas.
like Colorado?
Back east, no. There's way more beautiful spots.
Right, it's greener. It's
Pennsylvania.
Except for the mountains.
They're beautiful.
Sunny and 81 for the high today. Partly cloudy tonight below.
I think my grass is greener than Tom's. I was looking at my
My grass is green as fuck, man. Just because of the rain, it's crazy.
Traffic and weather.
We should take pictures of our lawns.
Don't know where to start.
He said, Mr. Green, Tom's always yelling. It's green grass.
Tips and tools. When you need your mortgage to fit your family and budget, Rocket can. Rocket Mortgage.
September 10th, 2001. 1 block from the World Trade Center. Security cameras captured the last known images of Dr.
I knew I blew these guys up yesterday.
The next day, chaos. Missing on 9/11 is the podcast that seeks to answer the question, what happened to Sneha?
There is not a trace of her. Nothing. Not a credit card transaction, no money taken.
First pick of suspect vehicle.
So, Marky, I'm going to leave in a little while, you know.
Right. Yeah. What time are you flying out?
4. Oh, no, I got to get ready. I got to pack.
Who are you flying, Frontier or South?
West Cattle.
Hey, Frontier is the same, man.
Pay the extra.
This is not just a job.
So,
This is my passion.
What I like,
I saw a guy outside mowing his lawn with a face mask.
Oh, man. Listen to this. This morning, on the way, we saw a lady driving probably 35 and a 55 wearing a fucking mask all by herself in her fucking car. Not only was she holding up one entire fucking lane
all
of
the time. I see masks in cars all the time. It's weird. All the time. It's nothing.
It's been a while for
Ants wears a mask when he drives. He's not listening. He's not listening.
I tried to get Dan to wear a mask. His face scares me.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show truly of its kind anywhere, the longest running radio show, still on the air with the same host, and it's true, that's what it is. Harris Family Law. It is a law firm that does divorce and mediation and all of the stuff in between. And what I really want to bring your attention to is what they call an early neutral assessment. If you're even thinking about a divorce and call them, they will go through this. You don't have to, engage them for the whole thing. They go through what a divorce would look like, a virtual walkthrough from a neutral point of view. It's truly remarkable because it opens your eyes to what you may not consider. They don't get you involved first and then dump this on you. They say, have you considered this, 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 and this? Some people have gone through that and decided to put off a divorce, or some people have sped it up. Harris Family Law, an early neutral assessment. They also will do unbundled services, which allows you to, how do I put this? It allows you to choose what you want them to do for you, and you can do some of it yourself. That is very, very important in a family law situation to keep costs down. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000, 303-515-5000. Also free webinars at HarrisFamilyLaw.com. So let's go to the phones, and we'll start with Ben Beth, who we left off with. Now, Beth, I just need some very basic information, okay? So, your husband paid $53 up front, $5,300 up front to Buckhorn Builders for a fence, installed posts, and nothing else. Why nothing else? What happened?
Oh, he's put in the posts and they're not level. They've been cut off, and there's no railing across the
I understand.
top.
He didn't do anything but the posts, right?
That's right.
Okay, so why? Why is he doing a poor job? And why didn't he continue or finish? Did you stop him? What did you do?
No, we did not stop him, and I've been inquiring for some time, and now his phone is disconnected.
Okay, so you got ripped off, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave me...
He took the money and left.
Now, give me his name again. Buckhorn Builders, but his actual name.
Inc. You have to be sure it's
his
Inc.
actual name.
There's several.
Isn't it Randy?
Builders.
His actual name.
Randy Reese. R-I-E-S.
You know what I'm going to ask you to do? You know what I'm going to ask you to do?
Yeah.
Find a picture of this clown. Let's get him on the Sleaze Brigade. Listen, he doesn't... So his phone number does not work.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And his wife is on Facebook.
Okay, we're going to find him.
He has pictures there.
Oh, I remember that. I did get his pictures
Wait,
already.
why?
Because we had a complaint on him about a month ago.
Can you send that to me again to make sure I get it?
The original complaint or the pictures?
Both, if you can. If you can. Okay, we're going to go after this guy. We need to put somebody on it. By the way, I love our deputy. Now, listen, Beth, we are going to try to find him, okay? He can be arrested. You know, what people don't understand, although we don't have teeth in these laws, the Contractors Trust Act is civil, but it can be criminal under certain circumstances, meaning if you take money for a job and don't complete the job or don't put the money toward the job, you can be held responsible. But here's what I want to say. I want lawmakers in the state to consider what Florida does. Florida has criminal charges for contractors that rip people off. And I think it's because they have such an elderly population. But let's consider criminal prosecution for contractors. Honest to God, I'm telling you that if you take money up front, why wouldn't you put that money in trust? And if you don't, it's a criminal problem. So, Suze, I want you to mark this as a follow-up, and I will too. And what we'll do is we will mark it for Sleaze Brigade. But here's what I was going to say. And again, I should make this clear. We don't have a private investigator on our team anymore, do we? That can actually look for people like this, Suze? Do we?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
We need. Bottom line. We need it. We need, so if anybody's out there, Suze, are you saying we do have it or we don't have it?
Don't have you mean a PI?
Yeah.
I might be able to ask somebody to do it, but I don't have anybody who just, has.
Yeah, we used to have them.
Right.
And we need a private detective or someone who wants to be one. No, I mean not wants to be. I mean, if you're in the business and you want to be our detective. Seriously. We pay in glory and notoriety.
Hugs and kisses.
And okay, hugs and kisses as well. I haven't gotten any hugs and kisses. And no, I'm serious, man. We got to do something. We need a private eye that can help us out. We used to have so many good private eyes. Remember the friendly ghost, Casper? He still listens.
Oh yeah, he emails me. I can ask him.
Well, does he still do investigating?
I don't think so, Tom, but maybe.
And then we had Jeff, and we've had a number of people. What happened to them all? Did they just go out of business or what? It's too bad. Anyway, we want to try to help as much as we can. 303-713-TALK. You can call us if you're an investigator at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. And, of course, that number is for us 24/7 for anyone. Hey, Lewis, you have a comment on Eva's car. Now, Eva's grandson bought this truck and, by the way, did not have it checked out. It turned out it was rebuilt from salvage, which they kind of knew about because they went to a dealer that specializes in that. And then they find a lot of problems with it, and she's trying to get the deal undone, and I don't think she's going to have luck doing it. What did you want to say about that?
You know what? I think you're absolutely right about that. You guys were talking earlier. The history started at 2017, and then the second purchase only lasted 10 months. Usually when a person buys a vehicle, they want to keep it more than 10 months. She keeps complaining about the brakes. You know, brakes don't last forever. So, you know, even if you go to AutoZone or something like that and order your own brakes, there's a time limit on that. So, you know, we're talking from 2017
and also,
till
you know,
today.
if we know this woman from her history, and her grandson is really kind of like a bully know-it-all. He really bullies her into doing stuff. He really does. And I don't think he's a really nice kid. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad kid.
We called the cops on him once.
Yeah, and he was, we have rights, we can do this and we can do that. You know, he just takes advantage of his poor grandmother, who, by the way, adopted him because, what was it, the deadbeat dad or something?
No, I think it was the mother was a drug addict.
Whatever. Anyway, Louis, I appreciate your comments and I appreciate you listening. Okay, Mike, go ahead. What do you have, sir?
Well, Mark is terrible. I mean,
let him finish, Mark. Go ahead. He's terrible. Yeah. Why?
He's wishing that biker with the death wish.
No, he didn't. He said he didn't wish it. He didn't wish it. He said it's a death. You know, I know it. I know.
Did you see that bike, Mike? It's like a freaking jet.
And by the way,
yeah, I did.
By the way, Mark, I say sometimes, listen, I say negative things sometimes, and my wife says this, don't speak that over him. Now, I for one, do not believe that I have the power to manifest universal forces to do something by saying it.
No, I try to talk people out of super bikes because, man, you fall on them, you can die. So I'll always do that.
Now, but what do you think? Do you think when you make a negative comment, I do think it would implant, now this is something for sure. Like, if you have a kid, you never want to say something like, hey, you're going to get killed on that, because you don't want them in their mind all the time, right? It's all right to say, you know, I want you to be careful, or better yet, in an affirmative, I am sure you're going to be careful and super vigilant.
Well, how about stuff like smokers? I'll tell a smoker you're going to kill yourself. The chances of you not dying of lung cancer are pretty slim.
Right.
Unless something else kills you first.
I understand
So
that.
what, is that bad?
No,
Mike, I'm asking Mike.
Mark.
Mike, is that bad? Oh, Mike's gone. He's probably a smoker.
No, here's the deal. Speaking something does not make it so, but I do believe with children, especially when you're bringing up children, you can have a detrimental effect by speaking negatively. And a lot of people tell you that, to try to put it in the affirmative sense. Don't you appreciate your body? Or no, that's not affirmative, but you need to appreciate your body and be healthy,
treat it right.
And treat it right.
Eat right.
You know, and Lee Ridner, who we used to have on a lot of hypnotists, he's a great guy, and he tells you how to formulate things and stuff. And, you know, Lee, he's slowed down quite a bit, I think, but he still does hypnotherapy. We ought to get him on once in a while. The problem with hypnotherapy is it doesn't work on the air. We tried one time to do stuff on the air. It's too difficult because it takes too long to get people to relax. And meanwhile, the audience is falling asleep like, God almighty, get this off. You know, but the theory, the talking about it is great. Hypnotherapy absolutely works. It does work. Now, we have more coming up. Get your calls in, okay? 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Water Pros, I'm talking about waterpros.net. I talk about them because they have the best systems for your house, conditioning or filtration at the lowest prices ever, under $2,000 for whole house systems fully installed.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis.
All right, you got Ideal coming up.
Oh, no, I remember everything.
Ideal in about 15 seconds. Sorry, I was on the phone with Michael.
I remember everything. Wow. Yeah. I've never been in that state where they say you don't remember anything.
Right.
Never. But you don't have to be. A lot of people have a misconception. What is ideal about Ideal Home Loans? I want to go over some stuff here. Ideal Home Loans, who I personally recommend to people, They have a number of options that make them ideal. The first is the interest rate guarantee. It's just obvious. They will refinance you free of charge if rates go down over the next 2 years. You can call them for details, okay? Also, they have a pre-approval, which is exactly like a cash deal. They also have pick your own term loan, where you pick the term anything. You don't go to 15 or 30 if you don't want to. You can pick any number in between, 15, 20, 16, 17, 18, 23, 24, whatever, okay? Then they have, of course, direct mortgage lending, which keeps prices lower. And then they have credit optimization, where even if you're approved, most lenders stop there. Ideal will go a step further and improve your credit even further, legally and quickly, to get you their pricing. You need to talk to them about all these options, okay? 303-867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
You lost internet, didn't you, Don? What? You lost internet, didn't you?
Why did we, guys?
No, it's my RDS.
What was the guy's comment on the old lady?
No, it's still.
Tom?
What?
What was it? Person's comment on the old lady helping her grandkid.
Let me see. Oh, he said no.
I wasn't in the room. What was the comment? I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either. I don't know what.
No, Lewis.
What was comment on the old lady?
It wasn't much. It was just that some people have a vehicle. Most people have a vehicle longer than 10 months, and yada yada yada.
Oh, okay.
These fucking people are really pissing me off with this fucking Excel. You know, I've never done a 60-second, a 30-second in my fucking life, not once. So they say new spots for Excel. I do them. They want 30s.
And they've never done 30s?
Never. So I sent them 30s. It took me a long time last night, until midnight. And guess what they said? They're not 30s. They're saying they're not 30s. I fucking know they're 30s.
So now they're 60s.
They're saying I didn't send them 30s. I know I fucking sent them 30s.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, Doc, you're a smart guy, so I'll talk to you instead of Dan.
Just so you know, I'm not an engineer.
Thank God.
Though you would like to be.
So, where did Memorial Day start?
Didn't it used to be Veterans Day or something after World War I?
No, not even close.
Oh, after Civil War.
During the Civil War, right about after it.
Right.
And it was not called Memorial Day.
Gettysburg.
I do forget the name of it. But they would honor both sides of the dead.
Right.
When did it become Memorial Day and a national holiday, more importantly?
After the Korean War.
I think Reagan did it, so when would that be? 70s?
That'll be after Vietnam. Reagan was in 1980. I don't think.
I'm going to look. Well, who would you think it would be?
It was before
It's
Reagan.
in the 70s. Who was before Reagan then?
Carter. No, Reagan was in. Oh, no, Reagan. No, 70s. Reagan came in 80. He came in 80. So 76 was Carter. Yeah.
Then it might have been. Well, who's before Carter?
Ford.
I want to say it was my birth year, around 71, 72.
You're older now.
1968.
Is that the 70s? No,
it's not.
Absolutely not.
Oh, wait. No, wait.
Wait.
That's kind of weird. It went into effect in 1971. So, suck it. But that is kind of weird. Why would they pass it in 1968, but it doesn't go into effect till 1971?
You can refinance any existing mortgage into a V loan, and you can even access 100% of your home's value.
What was your original name? That's what I was going to look up.
Original name for what?
Memorial Day.
$1,000 or more, maybe.
Oh. Armistice. No, that's Veterans Day, right? What was Armistice Day?
That was World War I.
Decoration Day.
Yeah, but wasn't there an Armistice Day? And they changed it.
No, I think Armistice Day was just when it ended.
But it was a national holiday, wasn't it? How would you spell that?
Armistice.
Chris Allenworth. Here's what's trending on the
ARMIS.
Yeah, it was 1918. November 11th. So it became Veterans Day.
Exactly. See, I know what the fuck I'm saying.
No. It's always been Armistice Day. Don't listen
Do I have to get louder?
It's right there.
Stop it, I'm getting louder. That's what you tell your kids.
1868.
I didn't fucking. Oh wait. Biden's the troops. Americans we owe for sacrifices.
Yep, 1868 was the first Arlington National Cemetery. Both Confederate and Union soldiers.
Would you look at
was
the
beginning.
He's Mr. Magoo. Mr. Magoo has glasses.
Why do you make fun of people?
Here's something. How did he get out of the Vietnam War?
Well, let's see. Trump had bone spurs. Bush just didn't show up.
No, Bush is.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303
713 Talk. 713-8255. Victoria, welcome to the show, Victoria.
Hi, Tom.
I'm Tom. Oh, well, I just said that. What's going on?
Well, thank you for taking my call, first off.
Thank
and
you.
my husband and I are looking to buy a camper trailer. And I've already heard your information about the RV dealer that is a Century
got
RV.
it. Yeah.
And we've been there. But
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's any other dealers you would recommend.
Well,
Camping World, Lazy Days.
Yeah, and then there's RV America. That's a good operation. Yeah, there's a lot of them. But, there's a lot of them. Have you been around? Have you seen RV America?
Yes, we have. We've traveled enough in the U.S.
No, I mean it's right up north here.
No.
Are you buying new or used?
Well, we'd like to. Hi, Mark. We'd like to buy a new, and we have looked at an outdoors RV. They're out of Oregon, and I don't know if you know about them.
Tell me what you're looking to buy. What kind?
Okay, what we're looking to buy is about a 20 to 22 foot bumper pull, RV, and something new probably versus used. We think, we're not sure. We've been, we've rented one and really enjoyed the experience.
Yeah.
And we think we'd like to do some boondocking eventually to get to that point.
Yeah.
We want to try to avoid a lot of the things that happen to RVs, and I don't know if that's just the nature of an RV.
What do you mean, a lot of things that happen?
Well, they tend to rattle and then things break. And
it'll never happen. There's no such thing as trouble-free RVing. There's no such thing.
Isn't.
Now, listen, Victoria, I'm so serious. It doesn't have to be a nightmare, but you have to have a toolbox and some handiwork. I mean that. I mean, if you don't know how to fix things, it's a nightmare. I don't know how to stress this to people. If you have an RV of any kind, the least amount of problems you're going to have are with like the vans, the mini coaches, like the Mercedes van that's decked out inside. Or the big, those are wonderful. But by the way, they're not for everyone. I love those. And I was even thinking in the future, something luxurious like that, because it would cost so much less.
They're
because it's
small.
No, Mark, I understand that. But I mean, they're beautiful. And if you go in certain vacation types, you don't want to spend a lot of time in it anyway. And but here's the deal: if you're looking for a camper, there are wonderful options. They have new lightweight ones now that are just simply beautiful.
What price range?
Well, I'd say not probably about 50,000 is what we'd like to pay.
You're going to get a lot for that. You'll get a lot for that in a bumper pull.
I'd say check Camping World.
Yeah, but did you not find anything at ours? Because Century RV has a lot of selection.
Yeah, one of the things we've kind of been warned about is to make sure you go to a dealer that's reputable and that they have a department, a maintenance department.
They do. That's what they do. They do a maintenance and they sell new and used. I just know the people. They're just such good people.
Yeah. Is there any manufacturers, though, that you'd stay away from or that you would either stay away from or recommend?
Forest River.
Forest River is great. That's what you mean, right, Mark?
Yeah, they're great. Yeah. Well, to me, they're great. How's that?
No, they are. They're good people.
And the reason I like Camping World is Marcus owns it, and I'm not, I just think if there truly was a big issue, someone will step in and handle it.
Now, Keystone is good. Cougar is really good. Cougar is the #1 selling in the country.
Okay, and then also has low maintenance problems too. The
All
cooker,
right.
or
Okay.
you know.
Now remember, I just want to say this. You're not going to get you're going to get some lower than others. If you're
okay,
I don't want you to be disappointed when you buy a brand new unit and immediately you will. I don't know why, but you have things happen. You know, I warned Mark, and because I warned him, he was ready. He was ready. I told him, I said, Mark, you're going to have issues the first time out, and he did. And you just have to be used to it.
Oh, I did. On any of them I owned. The fifth wheels, anything. We always had issues. It's like a house.
Yeah. Okay. A house on wheels that kind of rattles down the road.
Forest River makes so many. A lot of people don't even realize all the different brands they have. I mean, there's like 30, 40 of them.
Hey, Tom, I have a question. While we're talking about recommendations for buying things, this is good. Do you suggest to people to go to Consumer Reports, whether it's a refrigerator, a camper, or TV, to see what their reviews are?
Well, you can go, Consumer Reports is definitely credible. They're good people. But I will tell you this. I'm disappointed. I don't want to get into it, but years ago I found stuff about Consumer Reports that bothered me. And it really did bother me. And it was truly a problem. I don't think they're crooked at all. I think they try to do a fair job. But they are... But now, I don't know how to put this, they're almost pushing political agendas along with products for certain reasons with the environment. I just want to say you may not get a complete report. They're not influenced by advertisers. That's a great thing. But one thing for sure is the internet now is Consumer Reports. That's what I love about the internet. I mean, you really do enough searching. Yes, you do enough searching, you're going to find stuff. I wouldn't use Consumer Reports solely, but they definitely have feedback from owners.
Going back to her real quick, what did you think about she wants to buy new? I went down that road, and I'll never buy new again.
Okay, now.
Never, ever, ever will I do it again.
I think certain vehicles, it's okay to buy new.
I'm talking just RVs.
No, I know.
Okay.
But Class A's, I don't think I would buy new because there are people that baby them and put hardly any miles on them, and you can, oh my God, the money you can save. Now, on campers, really, I don't mind buying them new because they don't depreciate as rapidly as a motorhome. When it doesn't have a motor and a drivetrain, the depreciation is a bit less than it is. So therefore, if you don't want people's gick, and with the bumper pulls, you don't know how many miles are on it. You don't know anything about it. So I don't mind buying new that. But I think it's an item by item. With pop-ups, I wouldn't mind buying them new. There's not that much depreciation. But, man, when you come to motorized vehicles, my God, the money you can save, it's unbelievable how much you can save. Unbelievable. Now, Norm has a comment. Hello, Norm. Go ahead.
Hi there, Tom. Yes, I bought a pull-behind 17-footer from Century this year, and they went through and explained the differences because they've got 10 different models that are all 17-foot. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they went and told me good and bad things on each of them. It was a great.
Good.
How much was it, man?
What price range?
$18,000 out the door, delivered.
Okay. What about, I want to ask a question. What about the items going wrong, what I call squawks?
Nothing yet.
Okay, well.
But I haven't used it much, but nothing yet.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Brand new.
You know, when it comes to price, man, and I say it in my commercials for him, I literally shopped in Florida, Arizona, Texas, and I knew exactly which one I wanted, and the cheapest price was right at Century, man.
This get found.
In the morning.
I didn't know that about consumers.
Yeah, but that's with everything now, Doc. Everything's political.
Impact traffic.
Shit, we're political.
Yeah, but I
Do you want to log in here?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get out of there.
Did you see that newest plane crash in Fort Collins? If you look on 9 News or KDVR, it's landed upside down.
Oh my God. Did they die?
Mark, do you use this Word doc?
Keep it up.
Okay, now log in right now, so I'm going to do Sentry and get found fast. But you can log in.
Yeah, I'm logging out.
Partly cloudy tonight, low at 47. Thunderstorm Saturday, high at 71. Then more rain and 60 degrees for Sunday and Monday. Down at 65 with your impact traffic and weather. I'm Dr. Richie at 6:30.
I'm shocked you don't fly Frontier there. I really
I
am.
would. She shops price.
Oh, okay.
Vintage Home Buyer's Guide for articles, tips, and tools.
Get found fast and simply.
Budget. Rocket Gas. Rocket Mortgage.
SimplyFloorsInc.com. That's where you get floor coverings. Well, you go there and make your appointment to get floor coverings from Simply Floors Inc. As I've said before, floor coverings are all over. Most big stores have all of the popular floor coverings. So you're looking for better installers, better people, better pricing, better stand behind. That's what you get. SimplyFloorsInc.com. We know Buddy and Karen Mitchell and can vouch for that. SimplyFloorsInc.com. We can also vouch for GetFoundFast.com. We know all of our sponsors. We know them all. Get Found Fast is a company that helps people with websites get found fast. Why? Because search engines have to know where you are. Your site has to be organized. It has to load quickly. It has to be friendly, user-friendly. Even if you think you're doing a great job, hey, get a checkup. It doesn't cost anything. GetFoundFast.com.
Hey, turn that off for a second.
Having weird, wonderful, and downright absurd relationships. Fall in love with Ridiculous Romance, the podcast where real-life spouses Diana and Eli talk about the wildest and most interesting romantic partners in history.
One episode of The Dating Game was with serial killer Rodney Alcala.
He was like, here's a dozen red flags.
Thank you for these dozen red flags.
Listen to Ridiculous Romance on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Nasal irrigation gets rid of germs by rinsing the nasal cavity, but neti pots are hard to use and, frankly, kind of gross. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called...
I know, I'm sure I'm going to hear it. What do you mean? Oh, he's been trying to call me. Oh,
he was very good on the radio.
I know about a month ago you were saying, hey, we got to really...
Oh, yeah.
So,
no, first of all, it was exaggerated. He wasn't complaining. Oh, somebody exaggerated a little. Are we still on?
Gee, I imagine.
Okay, you know who did. All right, see you guys.
Later, man. Have a safe trip.
Thanks.
Where you going, Tom?
I'm going to Boston to see my stepson and then also my nephew. My nephew works in TV out there.
Good. You going to Legal Seafood for dinner?
How did you? I love that place. Oh, I fucking love it. I do.
Yeah, it's a great place.
You know, you and your F-bombs getting a little old, bro. Hey. Some of us, son-in-law.
Is it his stepson?
I don't know.
Is it? Well,
oh, yeah, Griffin.
He goes to Brown? Does he go to Brown?
No. He goes to Boston, man.
Okay.
Smart kid, man. Real smart kid. He almost got, well, I don't know if he wanted to go there or not, but he almost got into one of the academies.
You know what? I know it's a good thing, but...
Shit, are you kidding?
It wouldn't be a fun 4 years. What's that? An academy. One academy.
God dang it, he always has cap locks on. I swear that he does it on purpose.
I would last for about 3 minutes and go through it. And
dude, I didn't even last a full year at military school, let alone academy.
You have some upperclassmen coming to me and saying, "You want me to do what, you fucking redneck? I spent 4 years in the brig."
It doesn't work that way.
What do you mean it doesn't work that way?
You wouldn't say that because your ass would be in trouble.
Well, because I was locked in. I would last about 3 minutes.
Or back then, they'd fucking just beat the shit out of you.
Right, you wouldn't have been good at boot camp either. Oh, no. Let me tell you,
you did the real deal. I mean, Marine boot camp is a motherfucker.
That first night, fucking eye-opener.
Do they truly just tear down everything and then build you back up
Oh, they
mentally? I mean, do they really call everybody a dirtbag? Is that kind of the whole deal?
I wish that's all they did.
Dirtbag was the nice term they called us.
No, when you get off that bus, and the thing about when you went in there, people were like pointing at us and laughing that we're in there, because they knew what we were going through. You get off, everybody has long hair, and the first thing you do is get a haircut.
That's the first demoralizing.
And let me tell you, that haircut hurts. Really? Oh, God.
You didn't have hippie hair, though, did you?
Well, I had, hair down to here. And then
and update the spots when you get a second. I just take more time.
In the summertime, so everybody had a tan and then a white head. Right. They woke us up. You didn't get to bed like midnight. Woke you up at like 3 in the morning, tipping over bunks. People pinned underneath the bunks. Garbage cans down the.
I don't know what I would have done if I got drafted.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you.
I probably.
Oh, you were right there too, weren't you? Your number just didn't pop?
Well, no. 2 weeks before I got my notice, I had a collapsed lung. I was in the hospital.
So you collapsed your lung, so you wouldn't have to serve.
I had two collapsed lungs. And I went to them with my X-rays, and my report. They said, "Don't come back."
Don't even think about it.
All right, 303-713-8255. Let's try to recover some money. Let's try to help people out. Let's dive into this. Memorial Day, we were talking over the break. I want to see if any of you guys remember that. I promised John, Ted, Connie, I'll go right to you. Memorial Day, when did it start? Does anybody out there know? Come on, Dan, we just talked about this.
Well, Mark was there.
Doc, I'm pretty sure you were there. Civil War.
Yeah, but I was only a kid then.
And I think it was called Decoration. No, not Decoration. Dang it, I just saw this. It's a great story if you just Google it. But basically, after the Civil War, they decided they would go, I think it was Arlington. I didn't realize Arlington's been around that long. Did you?
I did not realize that.
1868 or something. Anyhow, 303-713-8255. Kill that mic, please. I'm getting feedback. John, what's going on with you? John.
Mark,
hey.
Are you there?
Yeah, man, what's going on?
Hey, Mark. Hey, had a job done by Power Home Remodeling Group in October.
Okay.
And they addressed some issues since then and took care of them.
Good.
And they're still not addressing other issues.
Like what? What's the worst thing they have not addressed?
You know what? They kind of threw on shutters on the entire house that were basically a standard shutter that doesn't fit our windows. So they just kind of, they basically did standard measurements instead of taking the measurement of the windows around the entire house.
Hold on, I'm looking at these pics coming in. Send them to Dan, too, so we can put them up.
I think I did, but I'll double check.
All right, keep going. What else?
Well, I think that picture is maybe just the front windows, but...
Well, what do they say now if you call up and try to talk to them about it?
Well, that's the problem. The last time we had contact was 3/19 of this year. My wife talked to Natalie down there, and they haven't contacted us since. They said, well, we'll get the shutters, and they obviously said, yes, we'll do all these things. But it hasn't happened.
Is it this Power, what is this, PowerHRG.com? Is that them?
HRG. Yeah.
So they're out of, I'm curious. I'm curious. I mean, they're out of Chester, Pennsylvania. Are they a pretty big national company?
They are, and you guys addressed an issue with the lady in her, I believe, sliding doors. And
did we get it handled?
I never heard the end of it. So I was kind of curious. I believe you guys had talked to their corporate office in Pennsylvania and had some luck.
Suzanne, is this ringing a bell to you?
No, what? The company name?
Yeah.
No, I've not heard of them before. I can check our call logs.
Let's see if we have something on them, because the way he's talking, we probably already have an angel there or somebody. I see their customer care number, but you're saying since March, so in the last 3 months, if you call up, you can't hear back from your project manager, your salesperson, anybody.
Yeah, well, we haven't called since then, so, obviously we probably should have, but, we've kind of given them the benefit of the doubt to get this stuff done, and I've, just been putting off calling you guys, because I know you're going to tear them up.
It looks like, Mark, it looks like on May 20th we had a call from a gal, Power Home Remodeling put in windows that aren't good. That's what I have in my sum up.
Oh.
So I'm looking at yours now, like the one that has the 2 shutters on there. What's the problem with the window?
So you see the shutters, how they extend above the actual window?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
they just don't fit, is what you're saying. They're not installed properly.
Incorrect fit. Yeah, and they said that they would take care of that.
So the window itself is fine.
Yeah, we didn't actually get windows. It was just siding, shutters.
Oh, I was looking at the other picture. This is ridiculous. This picture right here, they go up about 7-8 inches from the window.
It makes no sense.
What's this other picture where they look about the same size, but they look just kind of crooked? Is that the deal?
Oh, does it have the brown part is the house brown?
Yeah, the house is, well, it's brick and brown, yeah.
Brown. So that was our original siding.
I got you.
That's how the shutters should look, Mark.
The siding actually looks pretty good, though.
The gray.
Yeah.
The gray siding.
I mean, just the whole color, everything looks really good, actually. Hey, let's.
I appreciate it.
This is the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen. I can't believe they won't fix this. So, Dan, you got to put this picture up. It's ridiculous. I mean, why would they what moron actually even put those up? I don't even get it.
Well, from the beginning, they had told us that they would have a crew of like 3 men come out, take care of it in one day. So when it actually happened, there was one little guy.
That was it.
He did 2.
And apparently he can't measure. I mean, this is really crazy.
Well, you know what he said was that whatever was on site, he puts on the house.
Well, okay, if there was a small child, would he nail it to the house? I mean, this doesn't make any sense.
I hear you. Exactly.
Let's we really do. Let's just get this handled. I can't believe a company of this size. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I honestly
Suzanne,
think it's because we're just a small little house.
You know what, Deputy Doc? Deputy Doc, here's what I want you to do. I want you to call these guys. Here's their customer service. Call this. We'll get this guy's info from Suzanne in the other room. But this should be fixed immediately. If this is just absurd. Anybody looking at this picture has got to go, what the hell is this? It's so dumb, I can't even explain it. At first, I thought you were talking your old ones, and I'm going, well, they're a little crooked, but this is this is really dumb.
It makes no sense at all. And from the beginning, when we received our products in our yard, we received the wrong shipment, Mark.
Evidently.
It was someone else's product.
Yeah, and they kept the shutters there, probably.
Yeah, well, we had to go look at it. And
all they need to do, Doc, is fix those 2 shutters.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark Szymanski from Genesis Total Exteriors just texted me, said he looked at the windows from the original problem. So I guess they're a real deal, and we've been hearing about them.
Get Mark up real quick. I want to talk. So Mark has actually looked at your house before, man?
No, the other call, I think.
Yeah, I did another call.
Yeah, you know what? I think I remember sending Mark out to that now that we're talking about him. Let's get him back up here, man. I'm gonna say this, and I mean this, John. I cannot imagine, if we can't get this handled, these guys must be out of business, because this is so strange. They've got to handle it. They have to.
Their customer service is ridiculous.
Well, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt right now, even if they suck. So let's do that.
I hear you.
So hold on.
Right.
Hold on. Doc, go grab. Yeah, Suzanne will get the information. Call these guys up.
How many windows total?
Listen, find their email so we can send them a picture of this, because what I'd like to do is free internet commercials for them of, if you want shutters that simply don't fit your window, use these guys. I don't even understand this. 303-713-8255. Everybody hold tight. I got to take a break. Connie and Ted, you guys are up next, I promise. Hold tight.
What was all the siding? Did they do siding too, or?
Did you see that? I mean,
the shutters, yeah, they're bigger, but Suzanne sent me a bunch on siding and everything. Like,
hold on. I-70 hesitates either direction, passing
like hits or.
They were reported to crash northbound I-225 after Parker. It's not slowing us down so far, although we have the accident on Evans at Holly and an earlier car versus motorcycle wreck eastbound Colfax at Valencia, west of Central Park. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, sunny and 81 for the high today. Partly cloudy tonight with a low at 47. Thunderstorm Saturday, high of 71. And then more rain and 60 degrees for Sunday and Monday. Right now it's 65 with your impact, traffic, and weather. I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW.
When you're ready to buy a new
All right, Mark, that's it.
It's so ridiculous on that.
with certainty, Rocket can. Get personalized loan options, closing costs, and tax estimates all in real time. Rocket can. Rocket Mortgage.
It's different.
You know, a little trivia here. Do you know what one of the most common hospital therapies are for trauma or vitamin deficiency or dehydration or virtually any ailment? You know what it is? It's an IV drip. It's the quickest way to deliver vital nutrition to you. It's simple as that. You can combat sickness, you can relieve pain, and what I love is Martino does this, and what I love about these guys, they come to you. You get all of the benefits of the IV right to your door from Rocky Mountain IV Medics. 720-987-2155. You're going to love this. General wellness. Every time Tom gets this done, and he does it, I think, weekly, maybe every 10 days, something like that. He always comes in a great mood the next day. It seems to last a while. You get the nutrition delivered to you right through that IV drip in the privacy of your own home. Rocky Mountain IV Medics. 720-987-2155.
Any jewelry store can sell you a diamond, but there's only one family jeweler in Colorado that was...
Why did she send all these pictures? Like it was.
I don't know. Well, that is just absurd. What are the other pictures?
Like signing with a dent in it, or...
Stores totally dedicated to celebrating your love. All the world's top bridal designers, 10 times certified loose diamonds at our diamond bar, and Denver's true diamond experts who will share their knowledge and passion on how to get the most diamond for your money guaranteed. So whether you're looking for the perfect diamond engagement ring or that second diamond celebrating a love...
Hey, is this Minnie or whatever her name is?
Billy.
Get her on. I want her on air.
Oh.
I got 2 or 3 emails from people saying that 90% of that lawn is mowed. So I'm not going to spend 3 hours to go over there with a strip of grass. I need to know what's going on. What I want is the guy's number from her.
The gentleman's number?
Yeah, why would I get emails saying that...
Well, why would she lie? So she either doesn't know. You're like being defensive.
Or it's already done and she doesn't know.
Okay, well, we'll find out. But calm down, Becky.
Tuning you out.
It's all good.
Hey.
It's a fucking lawn.
Becky's wife. Excuse me.
Shut up, Dan.
Why did you send all those pictures of those other siding things and everything?
He sent 3 different emails with 3 different examples of issues. So I just
I see. Those
sometimes
are
I don't even look at them. I just like, oh, more issues. Okay. What? Are you gonna yell? Because I'm gonna run.
Smack.
You know what? That's it. She's on punishment.
She's on punishment.
Not only is the vaccine tested to be safe, it will help protect you against COVID. With every vaccine we give, we're one step closer to putting...
I'm going to get that one T-shirt I see. Trump, I'm tired of winning.
Changes in our economy. This is really important to pay attention to your spending.
All this winning's making me tired.
It's making, what's the something a Seinfeld thing, wasn't it?
I can't believe this company would actually hang those.
Well, they sent a guy out there.
Would you have hung him?
I would have asked a question. Are you sure you want these?
Yeah. You sure you want shutters that don't fit?
Well, they don't do anything.
You'll typically receive not only a much lower rate, but also reduce the number of monthly payments that you need to focus on. And you know what else? When you choose American Financing, there are never any upfront or hidden fees, never any pressure, no obligation. So what are you waiting for? Give them a call, 303-695-7000, 303-695-7000, or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. It's
Kill that real quick.
Okay.
Just for a half
as
second.
one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this: unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
This is Bill Lamphere, General Manager at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village, the #1 Lexus dealer in Colorado in both new and certified pre-owned sales. To celebrate the spring, lease the all-new 2021 Lexus ES250 all-wheel drive
For only $319 per month. Visit or see us at our state-of-the-art facility at I-25 in Bellevue.
39-month lease with 10,000 miles per year and $39.99 drive-off plus taxes and fees. No security deposit with above-average credit through Lexus Financial Services.
All right, 303-713-8255. 303 Martino. We got another hour to go. Don't forget that. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. You need any help whatsoever. This show is for you. That's what we do. We pride ourselves in helping you. We pride ourselves in going after the bad guy, exposing the thieves, the liars, the scumbags out there. That is our favorite thing to do. To be quite honest, it does make good radio when you can actually show, hey, this guy, if you hire him, he takes money. You know, he's been to court 30 times. He loses every time. He's been to jail for it. He's been this. We like making sure people don't use those folks. And if you do end up using someone like that, you got to let us know because we can at least warn other people. Now, Mark Szymanski with Genesis Exteriors. Mark, we sent you out to look at a window job or a siding job done by a company I believe is called Power. I'm trying to find the company name again. What did you find on that one?
Power Group Remodeling.
Yeah, it's Power. They're a huge, they're a billion dollar plus company off the East Coast.
Got it.
Remodeling company. And they put in windows. It was a sunroom that got installed. And the homeowner had framed it themselves, and then Power came and did the siding and the windows. And I've never seen windows that large that were sliders. And so the last I think that happened is they did come out and put new windows in, but they made it into a solid center and then 2 sliders on the sides where they should have done the size of that opening it was.
Yeah, but they fixed it, right?
I think they did come out and fix it. Yeah, they at first they wanted to say we'll fix it, but then we don't have any more warranty obligation to this homeowner. And I think you guys kind of got that straightened out, and the homeowner still has a warranty, and they put different windows in.
Did you happen to see the picture Dan put up of the shutters?
I didn't.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So let's say the windows are 18 inches tall. The shutter's like 24 inches tall, and they're not even centered. It's like they're equal at the bottom. Then it extends up to basically the overhang of the roof. I mean, it's just nutty that anybody would do it.
And they probably just send some guy out there, go install it. He installs them and just takes off.
You know, I was going to ask you that. When it comes to a big national company like this that's doing business, let's just say at least most of the states, what do? They get to call in to probably Pennsylvania or wherever their headquarters are, and then they find somebody like a subcontractor in Colorado or Arkansas or whatever. Typically, how do you think that works? How does a model work like that?
Yep. Then you get people signed up and they promise these subs so much work, and and then that's exactly how it works. And then just like, oh, go install these. And most of the time I'm sure they supply the materials, but there's one group in the office procuring the equipment, and then another group is getting this the labor together, and you don't get. You don't always get great quality.
And generally, you use guys here in Colorado. You do the entire Front Range, but you use guys, even if they're subs, these are people you've known for a long time. You know what to expect, but more importantly, you as the owner, you're out there on the project, or your managers are out there making sure everybody is dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
That's the biggest difference. How about
I mean,
price-wise?
We got crews
hold
that have
on.
been with us 20 years now.
Wait. These big companies like Power Home Remodeling, how does Genesis, and I hate to put you on the spot, but how do you compare on pricing for siding and windows? I would guess you guys are better, but be honest.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, I have never gone nose to nose with them and competed on a job that I know of.
Got it. So you don't even know.
I don't even know. I mean, I have talked to some of my suppliers, and they go, "Oh my God, they're huge for us." But I'm like, well, I never run into them on the street.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, Mark.
I see them at trade shows, but that's about it.
All right, thank you, Mark. 303-679-8509. Mark Szymanski, Genesis Total Exteriors. You need siding, windows, roofing. These are the guys. 303-679-8509. We've got a lot coming up. Millie, Connie, Ted, hold tight.
If you've ever sold
like you had a little cold.
It's a hassle. From the prep work to the open houses, not to mention the supply showings. What if I told you there was a stress-free way to...
Routine grounder becomes wildest play of season.
Oh, I think I've seen that stuff. I didn't look at
Oh my God, look, ball's still live. This guy has been to 2 bases now. 3 bases!
Double moves or double mortgage.
Oh my God, the errors. Oh, look at that shit! How is that possible?
They probably had 3 errors there.
3? I counted 4.
With Orchard, we got our new home for $10,000.
A pair of blunders. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We didn't have to carry 2 mortgages. Didn't have to rush to move.
I lost track of the play.
We have 7 other offers for our new home.
Boy, that's where
oh my God.
you'd be throwing stuff at the TV if you're big.
Look at this. Here we go. So.
Easy. That's Orchard.com.
Look at this. He chases them back. He drops it. Oh, and the guy scored.
Right. But see,
my God.
So he was doing it. That, like I said, they should have let the guy go to first.
It was 4 errors, I think. It might have been 3.
He didn't go to 2 base. He only went to 2.
No, he went back to home.
No. He didn't wait at first because the guy was going to tag him. He should have just tagged home and tagged first and threw it home.
No, it was a complete blunder.
Yeah. But the guy on
That's
third.
Why it wasn't an error. It was a blunder.
It was a good coaching though on third base sending him in.
President Biden is in Virginia.
Oh yeah. Because they were both going back. I mean, he had to go one way or the other.
Right. Let me tell you, did you play baseball? I never.
I played Little League, yeah. 2 or 3 years.
Let me tell you, catcher's got to be. That's a tough position.
Shortstop.
No, catcher. I mean, people slide in home, and you have this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. In Little League, it wasn't that.
Right. You're right. No, I agree. As far as finesse, shortstop is. But man, that catcher and stuff on these.
We were called the Mohawks. You probably can't even be called the Mohawks.
Not anymore, you're not.
I look how my phone says.
I don't.
Spam risk.
Yeah. No, I don't know what.
Hello? Hello?
IMS President Doug Bowles spoke to ABC's Good Morning.
It's the dealer. It's the dealer warranty board. My warranty's almost up.
I don't even have that car anymore.
I know, that's funny. Well, they don't even tell you what car.
Yeah.
You know they buy that information from somewhere. Hyundai or someone sells that info.
Helicopter that NASA has been flying around. Officials say Ingenuity was flying at about 30 feet when a picture taken.
Another good stock day, man.
Register properly. That in turn threw off a timing sequence, which ended up confusing the drone about.
I'll tell you, the best fucking hit I've had in a long time, and I mean major hit, is that goddamn Nokia.
It was so low, you know. If you look at them, they haven't done real well in the past years and stuff. They just kind of hover around now.
Dude, I'm up over 65K on that fucking stock.
And now get 15% off signs, posters, and decals when you spend $75 or more.
Walmart was looking badass. Did you see their earnings? Holy shit, man. They crushed it, but it can't seem to break this 142. Did you get in on Frontier? I've owned a bunch of Frontier. I've been Yeah, I'm up like 8% actually. That's pretty fucking good for.
No, I did the JetBlue. I really got good on my son's JetBlue.
That JetBlue is a good stock. I was looking at. I day traded that during.
I should have. I would have tripled if I would have kept it. But I thought it
Neo's climbing back to the 40s, man. That's what if it hits 42, I might sell and rebuy at 32.
I tell you what, I just don't. You know, right now with so many companies coming out with electric vehicles.
Yeah, but most of them are owned by that Neo. The fucking Chinese own a big chunk of it.
Well, of course they own a big chunk of it, but
that's why I like it. It's not like they're going to let them go anywhere.
No, but they're not going to be coming in here until 2025.
I don't care about sales in the U.S. I don't give a shit about that. They're going to be all over Europe, man. And their manufacturer, did you know they don't even own their own manufacturing plant?
Oh, really?
No, they just like Apple phones, they have whoever has the best price to build to their specs. So the plant that builds their car just said we can do double now.
That's scary.
Why?
Because you start getting different.
That's how LG is built. That's how everything.
And look how many complaints we get on LG.
Same with Samsung. They're all built the same.
Samsung's got their own, huh?
I don't think on every product, man. I don't think on every product. But I guess my other point to that is we get just as many issues with Samsung.
For refrigerators.
Yeah.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, southbound I-25 slows through downtown, northbound I-25 bumps.
Look at their TVs and stuff.
In I-70 heads
of course, I tell you what, we don't really hear.
I think they're overpriced, Samsung. Their TVs, I think, are way overpriced. Oh, the other one, who's the V? What's the Vizio? They are the same way, man. They just send out the specs and whoever comes in the best.
Partly cloudy tonight, below at 47. Thunderstorms Saturday, high of 71, and then more rain and 60 degrees for Sunday.
Yeah, they got their own factories. Says that also components are made by a sister company for Samsung.
What are?
Samsung. However, its smartphone production factory comes to less than 10% of global shipments.
So they're probably out of China too. I mean, basically that's probably what that says.
The parts might be.
Wait, where are they? Taiwan? Where's Samsung? Korea.
South Korea.
They might use China. I was going to say I doubt Taiwan would use. Well, maybe they would. I don't know, man.
Good point.
Did you see that actor that came out and apologized?
You know, he used to be a WWE wrestler. You know, what? Let me tell you, there's so many people. Hollywood, NBA, baseball.
Hey, whoever butters your bread, as
they
say.
Doesn't matter if they're killers. It doesn't matter if they're children molesters, whatever.
Look at that. AMC erases 38% rally today.
Check out Blue Sky CBD.
I don't understand.
Right now, get 30% off your.
You heard what I said about it.
There's no difference between that Reddit shit and the cryptocurrency. That shit is just as a wild ride, man. You get Musk going on Saturday Night Live and his drops 50%. I mean, that's the dumbest shit ever.
But AMC pays more in interest than they've ever made.
Where'd they get the loan?
They redid stock.
This is the Troubleshooter.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We are here to solve your problems, answer your questions. You know what we do? We take your complaints. You have any issue with anybody, we want to hear them. That's right. You got a bad contractor in your life, maybe a bad dentist. You know, we had a dentist one time. Do you remember this one? I couldn't believe it. I still don't know if it was good or bad. I don't know how I'd think about it if I put myself in the dentist's shoes. He put braces on this kid. The kid was, I think, like 10 years old, maybe 12 years old, whatever. Pretty young kid, preteens or teens. The mother would pay $200, $179, $199 a month for these. And it was like a 2 or 3 year deal. And I guess that's how braces generally work. So the mother quit making payments. The braces started hurting because this kid's like a weed. He's shooting up like crazy. The dentist said, well, until you catch up, I ain't taking them off. I ain't adjusting them. I'm not doing anything. You know, think about that. Because the mother can't make the payments, This poor kid was in agony for a while. Now, we got involved, and I think he ended up taking them off altogether, which I don't know. What do you do in a case like that? Dan, what would you do? What do you do in a case like that? You're not getting paid.
You got to at least adjust them for pain.
Well, yeah, and he ended up taking them off, but I just feel bad for the kid.
Oh, yeah.
So the mother, I don't know. If you can't pay your bills, it's just weird when it comes to medical stuff. But I digress. Any issue you have, that was just an example. A bad contractor, a bad landlord. You know, I don't even know what a bad landlord is anymore because a lot of them were actually good landlords and they got punished during COVID. They really did. A good friend of mine, actually over $40,000, and he's still dealing with some deadbeats. And these deadbeats own their own business or carpet cleaners. They go out and they actually clean carpets. He's got pictures of them working, pictures of them getting paid, but it's a lot of cash business. They haven't paid their rent for almost a year now. You can't evict people. I thought the judges took care of that, but honestly, they didn't. It's still a pain in the ass, to be quite frank. 303-713 is a phone number, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Connie, speaking of landlord issues, what's going on with your landlord?
Oh, my gosh. And you guys do take care of the old people. I'm 76 with acute pain in my back, and I fell. The landlord, we got a new landlord, so he's cleaning up some stuff around here, which is kind of good, and we got these things in the mail. He wants everything down. I didn't think he meant my shed. My shed's new. I thought he meant the old crappy sheds, which I get. But
wait,
anyway,
Connie, hold on a second. What kind of development is this? Is this like a townhome?
No, this is just it's a six. Yeah, it's a sixplex.
Okay,
and
so it's a
like
six.
4 of them.
And you have a shed in the backyard that's somewhat new. It's not real ugly.
No, it's beautiful.
And he wants
it $4,000 shed.
And he wants it down.
I guess so. He's mad at me. Well, for one thing, I fell. He left some dirt right in my walkway. Mother's Day night. It was 2:00 in the morning. I have a service dog. Went to let my dog out, which he never does that, but he did. I was exhausted, and he had dirt that he left in my walkway, along with that black material that they have rocks on.
Yeah, what happened?
That kind of stuff.
Connie, what happened?
Well, I tripped on it, and I fell, and I jacked my rotator cuffs up. I'm only telling you this.
Wait, but hold on. Did you go after his homeowners at least?
No, I have Medicaid. I'm old and poor, so I get all the. In fact, he said, "Don't you get Medicaid?" When I told him about it, I said, "Yes, but maybe you should pay the government back. You know, it was your negligence that I stepped and tripped over."
Well, you're not. I agree with you, but keep going. I guess you're going to glance over that.
The problem is my health condition is not good. I just had a major surgery in February.
Okay, so what does this mean, though?
Okay. The thing is physically I'm not able to empty this shed. It's stuffed full, and it's a 10 by 10 by 10.
What's in
half a garage. All household stuff. I moved from a 3-bedroom. I had a Native American boy.
Connie.
I moved.
Connie, what are you going to do with the stuff in it? If I could magically...
Well, I can't. I'm trying to sort through it as best I can. I've got my yard full of things sorting through, getting rid of, taking things to Goodwill, doing whatever, but he won't have me waiting. He wants it down by the 7th, or he sent me a text last night. I will tear it down and throw the stuff away, and you will be charged for the expense.
You know, she reminds me of my mother. I can sit there and try to have a conversation with my mother, and I swear to God she doesn't hear one word. Connie, how can I help you, though? If I can get some people together to help you empty out the shed, where does the stuff go?
Well, that's one thing. I was going to see if anybody had a garage for rent, maybe in your thing. But the other thing would be, does he have the right with this eviction stuff to touch my person? My kids' pictures are someplace in there. I mean, does he have the right to take my personal belongings and just throw them away?
No, he doesn't have the right to take your personal belongings and throw them away unless he goes and does it the proper way. But
takes the shed down.
Yeah, I don't know if you can have the shed there, but that wasn't the question you asked. Here's what I would like to know, though. How much time, if we try to reason with this individual, how much additional time... I'm going to take a deep breath.
I don't know.
Connie, here's how a conversation works. I'm going to teach you. Listen,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to talk, and then when I pause, then you talk. Let's try. Ready? Go. Connie, how much additional time would you need to sort through the shed? Pause.
A couple of weeks would be great, but
Okay.
he won't do it. I've begged.
Well,
I've
how
begged.
about if we call him?
You could try. He says he's having a sprinkler system put in. He did tell me that when he was having the sprinkler system put in, it wouldn't affect the shed.
How long has that
Now I
shed
think
been in
it's
there?
Because 8 years.
Okay. I think 2 weeks.
When I moved in.
When did he first give you notice before I jump to this?
He gave me notice on 2 days after I fell. He sent it out to everybody. Well, there was only one other person with a shed to get rid of the shed.
Hey, did you go to the doctor? Listen, Did you go to?
Oh yeah, I've been to the doctor 5 times. I'm now in physical therapy for it.
Because of that fall, though, right?
Yes.
You can directly tie that stuff to the fall. Hold on. My God, I need a Valium or something at this point. I want to help this woman out. I think we have a ton. Am I missing something, Dan, or do we not have a ton of ammunition to help this woman at least get 2 more weeks?
Oh, I think 2 weeks would be easy.
I think it would be really easy. What I can't believe she glances over is her life is different now. Yes, Medicaid will go after the doctor's bills for reimbursement if she got an attorney involved, but there is this thing called pain and suffering. I want to get John Fuller on, Suzanne, and I do, and I know there's people out there going, well, you know what, who is paying that bill right now? I like how she says Medicaid. Who is paying it? Who's paying it, Dan?
US of A.
Us, taxpayers. And this guy wants to be a jerk over not giving her 2 weeks? You know what? I say we rain hell down on this guy. That's what I think we should do. Let's have Doc make 1 call over there, but let's get John Fuller up. I would love to hear what John's got to say on this. Aunt, I'm going to take a break. Millie and Ted, hold tight. Connie, make sure we have your information. I'd love to get Fuller up if we can.
Huge Memorial Day.
Oh, are we bringing Lazara back up, babe?
Luxury truck, luxury SUVs to Dan.
Cooney seconds now, 88 heating QC.
It's the best time of year buying inventory at the Sharpest Ride. It's the best financing around. And listen, if you have good orders,
I just remember you coming in, but definitely, I got to do this.
Find your perfect luxury vehicle at the Sharpest Ride. Take advantage of their Memorial Day sale. You can check them out at thesharpestrides.com or go see the Sharpest Rides in Englewood today.
All right, I was going to say 303. It's 888 Heating. You can't get any better than that as a phone number. How about as a website, 888heating.com? Here's what they do. They do HVAC repairs. I've been representing them for a long time. They're great folks. They got great pricing, been on the referral list for way over 10 years. And my favorite part about them is not only the special I'll tell you about in a second, but if something breaks, your furnace, your air conditioner, your humidifier, anything, if something breaks, your boiler system, they will come out and give you an honest-to-God price to fix it. They're not going to always say, oh, that's 10 years old, you need a new air conditioner. If you want to fix it, they're going to give you a price to fix it, and they're going to give you the best price out there. That's it. Now, if you do want a new air conditioner, a new furnace, a whole home humidifier, all of that with 5 years no interest. They got a special right now that is unbelievable, starting at $8,500. A new furnace, a new AC, a new humidifier, whole house. 5 years no interest, starting at $8,500. That's no joke. Once that sun is cooking us all in another couple weeks, that deal will be gone. If anybody else has quoted you, I'm telling you, give these guys a call. 888-HEATING is the phone number. 888heating.com is the website. Now, check this out. I got to listen to Tom talk about this all the time. It drives me insane, actually. But he's right. I've been to his house. In fact, I've been to both of his homes. He's got this little button he hits. If it's hot in the morning, check this out. If it's literally hot, let's say his house gets up to, 78 degrees in the morning. He hits one button for this whole house fan. And guess what this thing does? It sucks all this air in from his cool basement and basically brings it right out of the ceiling in his upstairs, right out through the attic. It is an incredible thing. It's called the Quiet Cool Whole House Fan, and they're very inexpensive. He saves about 80% on his one house than he did the year before he had it. 80% during the summer, and it's so quiet.
It'll change the temperature in your house up to 10, 15 degrees in a matter of about 5 or 10 minutes. It's eco-friendly, and once again, it's very quiet. You know, when you picture something that has this kind of turbine and this kind of air movement, you would actually think it's loud. It's not. Therefore, the name Quiet Cool. But check these guys out. 303-800-3419. 303-800-3419. Lower those AC bills. Get rid of those hot, sleepless nights. You got to check this thing out. 303-800-3419.
It's all about the nose.
What'd you find out, Doc?
Put on terminal hold. I'll have to call them back later.
If too many germs get stuck,
I got the info, so I can follow up.
You get sick.
They're open tomorrow.
Wouldn't Bendinelli be a good one to get us?
Oh, or Bendinelli. He just said.
The landlord, where she fell over.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Now there's a better way to do it.
This guy's a nut, man.
Well, you just at least work with her and stuff, saying, "Hey, don't
The
sue
body
me."
uses powered
Was it a mobile park? I didn't hear that.
No, yeah, sixplex.
Millions use the
Is this Connie you're talking about?
I
missed it.
Her main thing is they want her to get the shit out of there. It's full stuff. She hurt her arm, so she can't, falling over some dirt.
You wash your hands and
Boy,
brush your teeth every day. Now it's time to start cleaning.
What's going on with this Paul Hernandez guy?
Yeah, it hasn't come up yet.
Oh, it hasn't come up yet. Okay.
Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life. The house you're living in right now.
It's amazing how many landscape problems we get, isn't it?
Yeah.
And construction,
Construction is the biggest deal.
it's amazing.
I mean, well, what does it take for construction?
Nothing.
What do you mean?
Exactly.
Well, for business complaints, anybody can open a construction business.
Yeah. Or a paint business, or
Well, we don't get that many complaints about painters.
No, but probably because it's pretty easy to do.
And also, a lot of people do it themselves. It's not that hard to paint a room.
Yeah.
Do you remember Saturday Night Live, Deep Thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
I gave up watching Saturday Night Live maybe 30 years ago. The cast just went downhill.
It did, but I haven't watched it too much lately, but they can get some pretty good skits.
You know how long Chevy Chase was on Saturday Night Live? What do you think?
Or someone else on the referral list. I would love to get an attorney while she's up.
How many years do you think Chevy Chase was on Saturday Night Live?
Chevy Chase, he was just on in the last. He's one of the few that's been on.
The original?
Yeah, he was original.
I know something about this. It was him, Chris Rock.
Oh no, that's
John
just like.
No, it's how many times they hosted them.
Oh no, hold on. How many years he was on?
Well, that all ties in.
No,
Do you
no,
know the
I'm not-
answer?
Yeah, I'm not talking about hosting. I'm talking about an actual cast member.
Oh, an actual cast member. I'm going to say Chevy Chase. So I'm going to go back to Caddyshack, and I'm going to subtract. I'm going to say he not hosted. He was on for 8 years.
What do you think, Dan?
I say 10.
How about 2?
Yeah, okay.
He was only a cast member for 2 years.
Well, like I say, I didn't
He's
watch
been
it.
on so much, though, because he's one of the few that's hosted whatever.
Right. But as far as the cast members, I couldn't believe that.
I'm looking at the original cast here.
It was Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase,
Belushi,
the 2 women,
Gilda
Radner,
and
Garrett Morris.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, Garrett Morris, the one who said baseball been very, very good to me. Remember?
Okay, yes.
All right, 303-713-8255. We have a couple open lines. 303 Martino. Don't forget that number works on and off the air. I got to take deep breaths. That one with Connie was getting me a little messed up. I want to go to Cliff Enton. He's on our referral list at referrallist.com. Hey, Cliff, how are you, man?
Hey, how are you? Happy Memorial Day.
Hey, you too, Cliff. I've got a question for you. We got a caller on Connie, and it's kind of interesting. Her problem really has nothing to do with what I'm going to be asking you, but in a way it does. She is, Connie, I'm sorry, how old? God, I'm terrified to bring her up. I'm terrified. She's a little hard to communicate with. Connie, please just answer the questions, though. How old are you, Connie?
76.
Okay, so Cliff, she's 76 years old. The landlord She's in a sixplex. Her landlord was doing some landscaping or something and piled up dirt on the walkway. Correct, Connie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So she walks out. She trips. And you've ended up in the hospital. You said your rotator cuff. What exactly did the doctors say happened when that happened to you?
I didn't go. I went to the hospital. My doctor's over there. He's the head of the. Anyway, I didn't wind up in the hospital. I went to the doctor. Then he sent me to PT. He said I didn't tear it. I jacked him up. I just felt, when I fell forward, I put my hands out to brace the fall in this mud, and I just jacked up my rotator cuffs. I can't, I'm going to physical therapy now for it.
How many times have you been?
I've been 3 times.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, twice. And I have 2 more appointments with them, and they said it would be, they're hard to heal, and it would probably take a while. And they told me to rest them. Well, that's a joke. I can't rest them doing this. But anyway.
Okay, so Cliff, I just wanted you to have that kind of background. Then what the landlord told her, when she talked about it, he made a comment like, well, why would you, I don't think she threatened to sue him, but why did he tell you, don't you have Medicare or Medicaid?
Because
I forget.
I said it would be nice if you paid the state for the medical bills. And then he said, well, don't you have Medicaid? And then he said, don't you have homeowners insurance? I said, it happened outside on your walkway. Why would I have it? That's for renter's insurance.
No, I mean, he's
anyway.
responsible. I mean, that dirt hadn't been there all the time, correct?
No, he just put it
never
there.
seen the
He
dirt
didn't take
there
it away
before.
for 6 days. It was there for
Okay,
6
Connie,
days.
we're going to have to play again. Hold on. When Cliff asks you a question,
sorry.
it's all right. Pause. Go ahead, Cliff.
All right, so you got 2 issues. One, of course, responsibility for the medical bills. And usually when somebody is a tortfeasor, does something like your landlord did, or you're in an auto accident, somebody hit you, you're entitled to pursue your damages. Part of those are recovery of your medical bills, and part of that is your pain and suffering. Now, if you have Medicare, sure, have Medicare go ahead and pay those bills, but that doesn't relieve your landlord of the responsibility for reimbursing you for the amount of those bills, because Colorado is a billed, not a paid state, so they don't get to take credit for that off of what you would get in recovery. That's very important for people to know. But 2, this has affected your life. You're an otherwise healthy 76-year-old woman who's now been screwed up because of this, and if he's negligent, that's his problem.
You know, Cliff, I couldn't agree with you more. And, Connie, I really hope you're listening to what Cliff is saying. I mean, he's a personal injury attorney. The bottom line to this is, first of all, generally what would happen is your Medicare will come after and subrogate for those bills if his insurance cops up the money. Right, Cliff?
Well, yes and no. Basically, after you finish treating, you submit a demand package that has your bills, your expenses, and makes a demand for pain and suffering. So let's say you have $10,000 in bills. Then part of that demand package encompasses that. Let's say the insurance company then gives you $30,000.
Yeah.
At that point, then, we get the Medicare lien, which is oftentimes way less than the billed amount. You may have a Medicaid lien for $2,000, but his insurance company has to give you the credit in the value of your case as if it was $10,000.
Oh.
And then Medicare would then be paid their $2,000 or whatever their lien is back, and then you would get the rest for your pain and suffering in this.
You know, so, Connie, what I'm trying to tell you is, and I know
it's complicated.
Yeah, well, not only is it complicated, but she should contact an attorney. And, Connie, I think you should personally have a conversation with Cliff off the air. But, Cliff, this is the part that blows me away. The reason she called, that was just part of the story. The reason she called is this guy, she's had a shed there. It's a sixplex. She's had a shed in the back with her personal belongings. You're not going to believe this, man. For 8 years. He gave her very little notice saying, hey, we're going to do some landscaping or something, and I need your shed gone, and I need it gone fast, or I'm just going to get rid of it. So think about this. Here's a guy that he thinks he just dodged a bullet because she fell, and he probably knew that he was liable for that, but she didn't do anything. And now he's threatening her with eviction and everything over a shed. I think the guy's a moron.
Not eviction.
Sounds pretty shady to me.
It sounds
really
about
does.
as shady as it gets. Go ahead, Connie.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. He's not threatening me with eviction. I'm on a Section 8 too. I'm a very poor old woman is what I am because I qualify for everything. But it's the shed he's evicting, my personal stuff. Like I can't bring it in my house. I have a tiny little apartment. That's why the shed's there. It's beautiful. It's anyway.
But
it's
yeah,
just
okay,
not
Connie.
necessary. This is
Well,
not.
I mean, I don't do landlord tenant law.
It would have nothing to do with that.
Maybe give you a referral to somebody that did. It depends whether the use of the shed is in your lease agreement or was established, by custom over how many years. Whole different set of questions in different states.
So, Connie, what I want you to do, though, honestly, is I do want you to talk to Cliff off air, okay? Just about the fall part. We're going to have Deputy Doc, so you know, call over there and try to get 2 weeks for you to go through that shed so you can find your personal pictures and everything else. I want to really help you out there, but I'm telling you, would you at least give Cliff a call? He's going to have lots of questions we're not going to do on air, but I do want to ask you one thing. When you first went to the doctor after the fall, I mean, the doctor wrote down what happens. In other words, they know you tripped over dirt or fell on dirt or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and I have all pictures of it. I took pictures of it.
Do me a favor. My office closed early today because of Memorial Day. Gave everybody a little time off. And call us on Tuesday, okay? And I'll make sure that they know to expect a call from you, and we'll try to point you in the right direction.
Could you get me your number? I don't have your number.
Cliff Etten, 303-333-2222. 303-333-2222. And you know what, Cliff, when you can, give us an update on it. This landlord just sounds like, how long was it there?
That's when I tripped up. That day. It was there that day.
Okay, so it wasn't
that night.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't there for a week. He literally put it there that day.
Yeah, they left it for 6 days afterwards.
Okay.
And there was no signage or anything. There were no barriers. There wasn't a cone. It was just there. Gotcha.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
just there. He picked up his tools. He left.
Hey, Cliff. I appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
Tuesday.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Connie. You hold tight, though. Make sure we've got your info because Deputy Doc's going to call on that other problem. 303-713-8255. You know the biggest moronic one I remember when it came to landlords? Dan, you'll remember this. They had no railing leading down to the washer and dryer in the basement.
Terrible.
The kid, Marco Bendinelli, got involved. It was absolutely insane. And they did not want to give her. Remember why she called?
Right. She just wanted her deposit back.
So listen to this, folks. This woman is checking out this apartment complex. She puts down a deposit. They're showing her around. She did not move in yet. They show her where the washer and dryer are downstairs, kind of in a basement. There is no railing. Her small child, maybe 7, 8 years old, somewhere around there, just goes right through the railing because there isn't any railing. Hits his head, was in extremely bad shape for a long time, 6, 7 months. The only reason she called us wasn't for a personal injury attorney, wasn't for any kind of advice along those lines. She was so upset that she could not, because she didn't want to move in there after this happened to her kid. They wouldn't give her a $500 deposit. And you know what that costs those dirtbags? That costs them Marco Bendinelli getting on the case. And it's probably the dumbest decision they ever did, because if she didn't call us over that, they wouldn't have been out whatever it's going to end up being. Landlords out there, use common sense sometimes. 303-713-8255. Ted, you hang on. I'll come to you first. We do have some lines open. 303 Martino.
Hey, Dan, can you send me the pictures of that of the shutters so when I actually get to them, I can send it to doc@troubleshooter.com, and that way I can send them the pictures.
Yeah, those guys were morons, weren't they?
Oh, you mean the Bendinelli one or this one?
This guy I can't believe.
I can't believe it either.
You know what? He knows she's on Section 8 because he just bought the property. He knows she's got, it is Medicare or Medicaid.
Yeah.
Actually, how does that work? Can you be on Medicaid would be your primary, then Medicare?
No, that's a good question. I think you're only allowed to have one of them.
I don't know.
Oh, no. You can have both.
Well, she
doesn't get her to have to do deductible that way. I don't think you can be on both. I'll find out. I don't know. It doesn't sound reasonable. One of them takes over for the other one.
Well, my point is they were really just taking advantage of her.
Yeah.
Because they don't think she's smart. I mean, really.
Well, I say it all the time.
Hold on, Doc. All right, this is important. I want you to take your cell phone out right now, or a piece of paper, a pen, however you write numbers down. And I mean it, this one's important. It's Memorial Day. If you're going to be at a barbecue or a restaurant or out hiking, if you're going to be drinking at all, I want you to have this number in case you get pulled over. His name is Joseph A. Lazara. He was on the first hour. He's one of the best criminal defense attorneys I have ever met. This guy knows the judges. This guy knows the DA. If there's a deal to be cut, he can cut it. If you've got to go face trial because maybe you were falsely accused and there's no deal to be had, he is the guy I want next to me. Simple as that. He can also help you out with the DMV hearing. I know you're thinking, oh, it'll never happen to me. I'm telling you, put this number in your cell phone, 303-429-6200. Put Joe Lazara next to it, 303-429-6200.
Line one is pretty easy. When I retired and I dissolved my PC.
You really don't have to do shit.
Well, it helps.
Well, you do. You're a doctor. You got to keep medical records for a certain amount of time.
No, but dissolving the corporation was really easy. It was one letter that I had my attorney write, and that was it.
I'm pretty sure right on, let me see.
I was supposed to keep my medical records for 18 years.
Yeah, is it that long?
Well, for the child. So if I did a delivery on January 1st of 2020, that child could theoretically sue me until January 1st of 2038. 18 years.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Nowadays it wouldn't matter because it's all digital, but
right.
You have paper records.
Oh, when I moved out of my apartment, out of my house at the club, I had 312 boxes of files to be shredded. I just shredded them all. I didn't even care which was.
So Doc is coming in here. The first picture is the old shutters.
Okay.
And then the second ones, you'll see.
Okay, good.
They're just oversized there.
Yeah, I mean, how could anybody put those up?
Because a guy just...
I know, but even Mark would have noticed that they were wrong.
What's that?
I said, even you would have noticed that those shutters were wrong.
Oh, my God. I was looking at the before picture at first, and I'm thinking, wow, they look a little old and crooked. But then when I hit that other one, I was dumbfounded.
They're this much above the window.
And it's not even like they're proportioned top and bottom. They're just, they're horrible.
It's crazy.
It's something, an engineer would just sit there and stare at and have no idea what
I think he failed calculus.
I don't think he took calculus.
Do you remember using
He suffered with algebra.
You remember using slide rules then?
I didn't ever have to.
He remembers the abacus.
Really? You didn't use a slide rule?
No.
What did you had calculators?
Calculators when I went to college, yeah.
Wow.
Well, because I was in the service. I didn't go to college till '78.
Oh, okay. Because when I was doing, my original college, we had slide rules. We didn't have calculators.
Right.
I remember when TI came out with the first real pocket calculator.
Yeah. No.
It cost like $500 or something.
Yep.
Now you can buy them for $1.50 at a gas station. Oh, I know. Reaching the limit of speed on computers. Because, well, they're down to, the transistors can only get so small.
They're not transistors. Chips.
Well, yeah, but the chips have transistors in them.
Well, I guess you could call them that, but not really.
Yeah, but they're working almost on the atomic level.
Yeah.
And until you get into quantum physics, which is absolutely crazy. Richard Feynman, who's one of the most famous physicists, was working on quantum stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if you think you understand quantum physics, you don't.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. The more you know, the more you know.
Well,
you
it's
don't
crazy.
know.
It's something that could be in both. It could be a 0 or a 1 at the same time. So it makes the computing power astronomical.
No, I don't even want to get into I just shouldn't be ignorant.
But right now, apparently, the problem with quantum computers is they have to be kept at very cold temperatures, like the So they only work in large institutions like, IBM might do it, or a college, or research lab. But as far as normal applications, getting hungry. You can go get some snacks. Me too.
You got snacks over the...
No, 22 minutes until I can eat. Because I don't eat from 8 p.m. until 2 p.m.
Oh, you're doing that?
I'm doing the keto and
intermittent.
Let me tell you, all you need is...
I did it 2 years, man.
Yeah, intermittent fasting to me is the absolute...
2 years.
Well, no, if you cutting out carbs, that's great for me.
Oh, that's the best.
I eat no carbs, and I think that's why I lost 25 pounds.
I totally understand. But
It's the quickest diet you can do. Anybody. If you can give up carbs for a month, you'll drop 30 pounds.
Well, you won't drop 30 pounds, but you'll drop a lot.
All right, 303-713-8255.
I'm still annoyed about that landlord. I hope he gets what's coming. And I know there's some people out there going, oh, you shouldn't have told her that. Let me tell you, that landlord knew she was on Section 8. That landlord knew, she probably didn't know her rights. And the bottom line is, I think he owes her some pain and suffering, and I hope Cliff Enton and the gang over there at Enton Law get involved, and I'd love to follow up on that someday. All that over a shed. All of it over a shed. The guy's, well, at minimum, in my opinion, he's a moron. Ted, what's going on with you, Ted?
Well, I got a problem with a landscaper.
What is the problem, sir?
Well, I forgot to, when I was talking to him, when one of the fellows came out, forgot to ask him if he was insured and licensed.
Okay.
And anyway, we were talking about price and everything else, and I had some other prices prior to that, and the price was pretty good.
Okay.
And there was just something about him that kind of bonded us. I don't know what, just in talking and everything, but in the springtime, you get all these mailers and things dropped in your front door and everything.
Hey,
and
Ted, let me put a little direction into the conversation. So did you end up hiring this person?
Yes, I did.
And who is it? What is the name of the company?
Well...
Or the person? Anybody?
Fair enough landscaping. Paul Hernandez.
Fair enough. So you ended up hiring Fair Enough. Did you give him any money down?
Yeah, he said, I'll have a guy come out. And as it turned out, the guy that came out was his brother, John.
Okay.
And John does landscaping and everything. And so he said, well, I'll need some money, at least half the money to take and get materials and everything else.
So, Ted, how much did you give him up front?
$1,400.
All right, so you gave him $1,400 up front. Did he ever deliver any materials?
No.
Did he ever do any work, any prep work, any work?
Yes. He came out, the first day he came out, he had two guys with him, and they tilled up the front yard.
Oh.
And then they were removing the bits of grass and everything else, raking it and leveling it and what have you.
Okay.
And then they were looking, I had a sprinkler in there, but they felt that I should have another head put in.
Okay.
And we found where it was, and he said I could take care of that, no problem.
Okay.
And then they came out the second day, and the second day they came out to work, he had his son and a buddy.
So, Ted, where's the problem? So far, this guy, it sounds like he did $1,400 worth of work. You said something about insurance, so why don't you tie that into it?
All right. Well, first of all, my front yard is 43 by 22, so we got 946 square feet.
Got it.
And he was going to take and bring in 2 yards of new soil and some tri soil.
Okay.
Deliver that, and then bring in the sod.
Got it.
And
what was the total price of this? I know you gave $1,400 down. What was
$2,400?
Okay. So, what's the problem?
Well, after the second day, he disappeared. During the second day,
so
right,
he hasn't
seen him since April 30th.
Okay, so you haven't seen him since April 30th. How much of that work do you think he's actually done? I mean, if you had to put a percentage on the job, You had $2,400 for a total. You gave him $1,400 down. Can you finish what needs to be done for $1,000? I don't know the answer. I'm asking you.
I don't know either.
Okay. Let's say you can. Then what's the issue? Then we just got to find someone to finish it, right? If you can get it done for that amount, or do you have what did you bring insurance up for? I'm just curious.
I brought insurance up.
Yeah, you said something like, and he didn't have any insurance.
Oh, I forgot to ask if he was insured
Okay, but he didn't cause any damage, right?
No, but
okay.
I've still got piles in the front yard and holes that were dug, and he took off,
Does he answer the phone?
No.
I wonder if he just doesn't answer for you. Suzanne, why don't you try to call him?
I'm going to try to call him.
Let's see if we can't get him on the air. Go ahead, Ted.
All right. Now, you need to get this part before you call him.
Uh-oh.
Because Paul Hernandez, the number she got,
yeah.
Fair Enough Landscaping, is in Commerce City.
Okay.
And he said, I'll send one of my guys out.
And that was his brother or whoever, yeah.
I found out later it was his brother, and his brother...
What is the relevance of this, though, Ted? You paid that guy. The guy we're calling, is that who you paid the $1,400 or his brother?
His brother.
Do you have...
And I asked him how he wanted the check made out to, and how he wanted it made out, and he said, you make it out to me.
Yeah, that's fine. So, but you don't have that guy's number, right?
I have that guy's number, yes.
Okay, well then let's call that guy.
All right. His number is 720.
No, go ahead. I don't mind if he gives it out. Give this guy's, I mean, he hasn't, since April, right? Am I crazy? April, May, June, July.
April 30th is when I cut him the check and I saw him. And then
30 days.
Out.
Oh, 30 days. I'm way off.
We're in the May.
Hell,
I'm
in the 4th of July. Hold on a second. I don't want you to give it over the air. Suzanne, get it. I think I'm just... Maybe it's me. I'll leave it at that. So let's do this. Get Ted. Let's try to call the brother or the other brother. It's my brother Larry and my other brother Larry.
It's Larry, Daryl, and Daryl.
Larry, Daryl, and Daryl. That's right, Doc. All right, Jackie, what is going on with you?
Hi, I'm just calling for some advice about, can a C corporation in Colorado self-dissolve?
Yeah, I don't know why. Now, I'm not an attorney, nor am I going to give you legal advice, but I'll tell you what I would do with the C corporation if I wanted to dissolve it. I'd hold I don't know how many board of directors you have, but basically I would hold a meeting with the board of directors and formally move to dissolve the corporation. Then I'd go to Colorado Secretary of State's website. I'd look up the corporation. I'd go to file a report, and under file a report, you should find a document for dissolving. I'm trying to think if I'll look over the break, but I'm almost positive it's right there. I don't care if it's a C Corp or an LLC. You should be able to file the document online right then and there. And then I'd probably call my accountant up and go, okay, the IRS is used to seeing this tax return all the time. What do I do to inform the IRS that it's no longer there? Those are the steps I would do.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing about someone coming back and reusing that name, and then it comes back at the previous owner?
In other words, if it's ABC C Corp and you dissolve it, and someone goes out and gets ABC C Corp, 2 years from now, and they get sued, if they could come after you?
Right.
Well, I guess they could attempt to come after you, but I have no idea how you would be attached to it. Now, once again, I'm not an attorney, but I mean, I guess if you or a relative or some of the assets of the corporate, anything can happen. But in general, my answer, once again, would be no. I don't know. They could sue you. I'd have no idea how they would attach it to you. But I just don't know how they would do that. But even if they did come after you, they'd be suing a dissolved corporation that I assume has zero assets. And the corporation itself is there to protect you in general.
Okay.
So I guess I just wouldn't worry about it. But honestly, we've got who would be a good attorney for that on referral list? They'd probably answer that question for free. Dan, who's our business guy? Oh man, I can't think of his name. See, I go to my guy here. I'm looking at Dan. He's struggling. He's trying to do this. It's like he's playing racquetball all over again. Hold tight. I want to get you the name of someone, an attorney you can talk to, though. Okay?
That would be wonderful. Thank
you got it. Hold tight. 303-713-8255. Everybody, hold on. We'll be right back.
It took me 2 calls. I called my accountant. I called my lawyer. It was done in a week.
Yeah. Are you thinking Atlas?
This report is sponsored by your local Ford store.
No, we do commercials for him. Real estate guy.
O'Brien? O'Brien?
Oh, no.
O'Brien.
O'Brien. So give it out.
Yeah.
Get his phone number out.
You're O'Brien? O'Brien?
Yeah, when we come back.
Okay.
He's real estate.
Doesn't matter. He does all the contractual stuff.
Okay.
I got it.
He's
okay.
Yeah, I'll ask you for it. And then you hit the talk button, and then you talk into the mic, and you say what's going on.
I think you better write it
Is
out.
it just me, seriously, or was Ted hard to communicate, and the
terrible.
woman was very hard to communicate with?
Yes.
Sometimes I go, am I talking too fast? Or
They tell that story. It means nothing. I don't know.
he knew his exact square footage. I like that. I like that.
I don't even know what that meant. What that had anything?
I can't talk about these guys highly enough. Suzanne and I have used them multiple times. They make flooring so easy it's scary. You go to simplyfloorsinc.com, and here's what you do. You schedule an appointment. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, vinyl, LVT, virtually anything you want when it comes to flooring. You talk to them a little bit. They'll call you back and ask you different questions after you set the appointment, and they'll bring the samples right to your house. It doesn't matter if it's carpet or hardwood or anything. Then you get to see the actual samples right there in your house with your furniture, and they'll do all the measurements when they're there, and they'll give you an estimate. There's no high pressure whatsoever. The estimate can be up to 40% less than the big box stores, and it's just an amazing experience. And what I really do like is there's no high pressure. And if you know me and listen to me, you know I like a good deal, and these guys give you a great deal. Simplyfloorsinc.com. What's the harm? If you've been thinking about new carpet, give them a call, set the appointment, go to simplyfloorsinc.com, get them out there and check it out. Simplyfloorsinc.com.
No, there were a couple of the harder ones. When they get in that story time.
What attorney am I supposed to give?
I'll ask Dan. He pulled it up. O'Brien.
Oh, sweet. And then you might want me to get that off the air because I've got a great update on Ted.
Oh,
who's Ted?
The landscaping issue. I just talked to John Hernandez.
Oh,
excellent.
It's
I got to
good.
hear this.
Excellent.
So are you saying it's a different story?
I figured out yesterday why.
There's never another side
Golf
to
is
the
so
story.
addicting. So what is it? Why golf is so addicting? I had one shot that a professional could hit. I played 9 holes with my buddy, and I scored like a 43. But of those 43, there was one that was good, and that's what brings you back. I hit the most amazing shot.
Was it drive?
No, I'm great with my wedges. I drive. I have a hard time.
Did you drop it in the hole?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like
I have never dropped a ball in the hole with a wedge. Never. In fact, only a putter.
Well, here's the thing. I have a hard time doing this. So a lot of my drivers tend to slice. But when you hit wedges, you want to keep the face open and get that height. So I'm really good at wedges. In my driving, the only thing I think about is trying to turn my hands over so I don't slice the ball. But when it comes to wedges, I have a great wedge game. But to hit it in on a wedge shot from 20 yards out, it's like, this is why you come back to play golf. It is such a high.
Are you saying that you shoot an 86 on 18?
Yeah.
Holy cow. You are good.
Yeah, but what was par?
No, par is 45.
He doubled.
No, par is 36. It's 72.
72 on a normal golf course, par is always 72.
Between 70 and 72.
Yeah.
Depending on par 3s they have.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. On a standard golf course,
it's 72. So if I shoot 85 and 90.
How about on putt-putt?
Then it should be 8. It should be 9. You should be able to sink a putt on every one.
Wow, golf.
I don't know. Those windmills are tough.
You are good.
No, it's still a 17.
That's pretty good.
The one shot, I'm telling you, when you do that, you can't wait to play tomorrow.
Oh, if I get in the 90s, I'm happy.
My buddy and I play 9 holes, and whoever loses has to tip the kid at the end. The guys that cleans up your club.
You know what? I don't mind golfing if it's just 9 holes.
Yeah, a lot of people just like 9 holes.
Hey, what's our out time? Is it 20? What is it? Thank you. Boy, that's a very arbitrary number.
What?
5734.
What the fuck is? Oh, that's more out.
It's just an odd. It's so odd.
So are you going camping on Memorial Day? The weather's
he sold it everything. He has nothing. The guy has nothing.
Dude, I am. I sold a lot of shit.
You got a big empty shed. Let me tell you, the weather's going to be horrible. I'm pissed off.
Yeah, I saw that. We were going to go hiking tomorrow, and Suzanne said it's like 60% chance of shit.
The next 3 days.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a big empty shed. You could move her stuff from her shed into your shed.
I got to have Connie send me a contract to see what the lease says about the shed before I do anything.
Yeah. But she's had it there 8 years.
Well, yeah, but
it doesn't matter. It's there 8 years. This guy can have a heart. Right before she sues him.
Right.
She could probably move the whole shed into your place.
You know what, mister?
Yeah, but then she'd have to pay $1,000 to have someone go out to find his place.
Hey, are you going to mow that guy's place today?
Not with this fucking rain. It was going to be tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm still figuring out the trailer, man.
Did you get someone to get a trailer that you could drive on?
Not yet.
What? Here's what I'm understanding.
I got to send a measurement back to one of them.
Why doesn't he just let the deposit pay for someone to mow? The landlord's going to have the lawn mowed.
What I might do, well, here's the deal. I got 2 emails saying that it was 90% done. And I have no idea how these people know him, how they know what it is. I have no idea.
Good question. You're right.
But 2 different emails.
So why not let the landlord have it mowed?
It's his place, I think.
No. The landlord.
Oh, that's right.
The landlord's going to have it mowed.
You know what? If this doesn't work out with the trailer, I'll just send Mr. Green Jeans out.
And let the landlord take it out of the deposit.
No, I'll just pay for it. But
he said money's no object. He said he could pay.
In that case, he can pay me to call Mr. Green Jeans.
I don't know.
303-713-8755.
That is the phone number. Now, listen to this. I got to recap this real quick. Ted called up, and I have Ted on here. He paid a landscaper $1,400 to basically till up the front yard. It was like 900 or 1,000 square feet, and basically prep it and then put sod down. The guy did maybe half of it and then split town, and it had something to do with his brother. But, Suzanne, you talked to the brother? Who did you talk to?
Well, I clarified that. So I talked to John, who is the contractor, or he's the subcontractor. He is Paul's cousin, not brother.
So he's the one that got the check written to him, right?
Well, I missed that, but this is what John said.
Go ahead.
He said, Paul, with Fair Enough Landscaping, isn't paying him and the guys for the job, so they walked off. But better than that, Mark. I mean, not better. But John was really concerned because I guess Ted kept coming out there with his Bible, trying to convert his guys to their religion, trying to baptize their kids, and just preaching at them, said it was so unprofessional, and it was a super big turnoff for them. I think I'm going to have Marty call and get all of it sorted out.
Ted, what do you make of what he was saying? Did you go out there trying to convert him while they're working or what?
No, but a couple of things came up, and we were just talking about families, and
I don't care if you did or not. I don't think that's any reason to walk off the job.
He just seemed
I'm just
offended
curious.
by it.
Well, I don't know. I don't get offended. I'm not easy to offend.
Yeah.
Ted, seriously, do you want him to finish? What are you looking to have done? And who did you write the check to? You said you wrote it to the guy's name. Who was it?
I wrote it out to John Hernandez.
And I'm sorry, Mark, I missed that. John told me that Paul was not paying him and his guys.
See, look, that John sounds like he does need some biblical therapy here. It sounds like he's lying right now. If this guy actually, Ted, you wrote the check to John.
Yep. check number 520. I can get you a copy of it.
I bet you could. I bet you could describe the font on the bottom of the check.
I'm
Hold
going to
on.
have Marty call.
Let's do it. Let's get this guy handled. Either way, and if they did $1,400 worth of work, we don't even have an issue here. We got to help this guy find somebody. Maybe Mr. Green Jeans can finish it up for $1,000. That would solve it. All right, 303 Martino. That number works on in the off the air. Don't forget about that. 303 Martino. My name's Mark Major. On behalf of all of us here, have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you Tuesday.
That was pretty good, little Bible beater story at the end.
Yeah. Everybody thinking.
That would be funny. Would that bother you?
No, not at all.
I don't think it would bother me. I'm more kind, I want him to finish the job. You know? I mean, I preach to you.